All right, everybody. This is the Almost Sideways podcast. This is the 2009 Almost Sideways Pinot Awards. This is episode 280 of the podcast. It is July
Wow.
21st,
Not
2024.
quite
It's also live.
inauguration day yet.
Yeah, not quite. 3 p.m. Pacific time. We're live, and we're going to have some fun. 2009, here we come.
Whatever happens here tonight may as well never have happened at all, because this circle's about as far as it's ever gonna go. In other words, forget everything. Okay, good or bad, we don't remember, so we got nothing to talk about. Through a night we'll never remember, but the four of us will never forget.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Sound good? Yes, sir! That's what I like to hear.
Oh, that's just beautiful. That's just beautiful. Well done, Adam.
That's why I'm here, folks.
Yeah, that's why he's here.
Pretty much.
The production value on that makes it all worth it. Yeah. This is the second time we've done this, that we've gone back in time 15 years to celebrate a year in film with our Pinots. It's our fourth Pinots show, but it's only the second year we've done it. So we did 2022, we did 2023. Last year we also went back into 2008. Now we're doing 2009. I'm Terry. We got Zach. We got Todd. We got Adam. This is going to be fun. I know we've talked a little bit about this already. 2008. Hey, how's it going?
Bronson.
What's up, Bronson? How we doing, man?
How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing? Yeah. So 2008 was a lot of fun because it was such a great year, right? 2009, not so great of a year when it came to movies, right, Zach?
Well, you know, I do have to say, rewatching a lot of these movies this week, it was not as bad as I thought. I think it's more of a top-heavy year. And interestingly enough, I don't think there's a lot of real shitty movies in 2009. I mean, there's definitely a few stinkers, but like it's a very mid-year. Like there's some solid movies. There's some movies that have some high maybe rewatchability while maybe not achieving that like greatness level. But there's certainly some good ones. And I especially watched the films that I put on my top 25, a lot of them this week. And I guess I was pleasantly surprised by how good they were. So it was a tough list to figure out, but there's definitely some good ones out there.
We do have a really awesome comment from Bronson here. Today would have been Robin Williams' 73rd birthday. We will see if he gets a nomination. I say he is in the running for 2 different nominations, I would say.
It's a good
For
shout
Old
out.
Dogs, right?
Old Dogs, yep.
For sure.
So Todd, what is your initial thoughts on the year of film in 2009?
Well, even rewatching some stuff, I realized how little I remember from this year. I mean, I think it had some to do with the fact that I was like in the later years of college, and I turned 21 that year, so that didn't help. I probably have lost some brain cells from that year, but
Why?
I don't love a lot of these movies. I don't think any of these are like top 100 movies, but there is some good stuff that we can get to below the line for our fun categories, I think.
Yeah, we're going to have a fun conversation. Like last year when we did 2008, it was a lot of fun because we got to like explore these really awesome movies. And 2009 is going to be fun just because it's going to be interesting to see where everything fell.
Yeah.
And so the way we do our Pinots is we have 2 different sections of categories. If you haven't watched before, we have the major categories that are like the Oscar categories. We've got, who do we have here? Oh, Ginger needs a haircut, aka
Jeremy.
Hazy IPA. There we go. So we have the major ones we all voted on, and we're going to be revealing the nominees in a couple weeks. We'll vote and reveal the winners. Then we have our debated categories, which are a lot of like our normal deep dive categories, but we're looking at it at a full year, and we will put forth kind of like we do with our Mount Rushmores. We'll each submit one, and then we'll kind of come to an agreement on what the 5th will be. and then we'll decide the winners right here on the podcast on this recording right now. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to see a lot of different stuff talked about. If you can't remember 2009, just go back in your brain. Go look almostsideways.com. You can look at what we have seen from 2009. We got a great list of everything there. You can see what was nominated for Oscars on there. But yeah, 2009 is a weird year. 2008 was a great year and only had 5 Best Picture nominees, and it convinced the Academy to go to 10 Best Picture nominees. And then they went, oh crap, what happens when we have a year like 2009? And that's why they went to the sliding scale 2 years later. So it's kind of a trend-setting year, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But first, Adam, what are you drinking?
All right. Well, it's 2009. This is the Pinots. I got a 2009 Pinot here from Albino Armani. I'm really excited to bust this open here and bust out some 2009 Pinot. Obviously, there's
Oh, you duct taped the 2009 on there. That's well done.
I did.
Well done.
Dude, I'm drinking actually the same bottle. That's ridiculous.
Yes.
Albino
Armani. Shout out to Leslie at Total One in Tacoma, and then also because Jeremy is here, we do have some hazy IPA because I'm kind of hazy on 2009 movies.
Here we go.
Well, this is actually a 2022 Pinot Grigio from Italy, but it is really good. It's ridiculous that Adam has the exact same bottle of Pinot Grigio. So
that's amazing.
Without even talking about it.
Zach, what are you drinking?
Does that mean you're both going to have the Artifice Girl on your list too? No. For this Pinots, I'm commemorating. Well, I think. Well, first of all, I want to hear more about everybody's autobiography in 2009. We heard a little bit of Todd's. The most meaningful thing that happened to me in 2009 was I moved to the great state of Kansas, and as a Chiefs fan, I have to reintroduce the Chiefs Cup. Great season, 4-12. You know, the Todd Haley era, the Matt Castle era. Some wonderful stuff with the Chiefs, and it's a reminder that from the bottom up, baby. Okay, these movies might stink, but better movies came out of it. The team stunk that year. But eventually we won Super Bowls. So hail to the Chief in January, but hail to the 2009 Chiefs, a great team that I actually saw get crushed by the Chargers and Phillip Rivers. So yeah, real fun. That's what I'm drinking.
So is it agua fria or is there actually something in it?
I think it's a mystery. I think it's kind of an ambiguous ending, almost like, like the ending of Inglourious Bastards. Did Hitler really die? I think we'll find out as we go along.
Yes, there will be some spoiler alerts this episode for 2009
We're going to avoid
movies.
Breaking Bad spoiler alerts, though.
Yeah, avoid that. That was 2009 as well. But yeah, we will avoid those for Adam. Okay, so what I've got. So last time we did this. We did our Pinot show. We did this episode of it live. We were live in Vegas. So I'm wearing my Vegas shirt. It's got all sorts of casinos on there, including
R.I.P. the Mirage.
R.I.P. the Mirage. It's right here. Let me see if I can get it up. Yeah, R.I.P. the Mirage. It's right there. It closed this week, so that was kind of a bummer. But I decided, you know what? I needed to go back to the first time we recorded an Almost Sideways podcast in Vegas. So I got a couple dead guys in the fridge.
There we go.
At a Rogue Brewing in Portland, Oregon. I got the Dead Guy Ale. It's gonna be good, some good stuff. We're in Vegas in spirit.
Well, and Zach was reading that Barbra Streisand autobiography or whatever, and she announced the Best Director winner this year. So
there you go.
That's true.
We got what's going on.
Do you know who announced the Best Picture winner?
It was Tom Hanks.
It was Tom Hanks. He didn't even read the nominees. He just said, and the winner is. Did like a champ.
Yeah, and the winner is The Hurt Locker. Like, that's how I remember.
Yeah, very monotone.
Yeah. But we've got a spinning wheel from Adam. Oh, he's back. The head of hair that needs to be cut is back, according to, who said that? Bronson? I think it was Bronson that said that. Okay.
Bronson from the 2009 movie Bronson, right? Do we have Tom Hardy's
possible
portrayal of Bronson?
We showed this, but we didn't get a comment on it, so I want to throw it back up there. Pearl is here. She
Yeah,
loved
Pearl.
the opening video. So we do have Pearl here. Hi, Pearl. I was the one that liked Maxine. They all hated it. So just letting you know.
It's because Pearl wasn't in it.
That's true. Pearl wasn't.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, great.
Okay.
Crocodiles.
So let's get into this. We've wasted enough time. That's what we do best on out here, by the way. But let's get into this. Our first thing that we're doing, boom, 2009 Almost Sideways Movie Awards, the Pinos, nominations and debates, 15th anniversary. Our first thing is we are revealing the Best Supporting Actress nominees. So these we've already voted on these, and we nominate 6. So we are revealing the 6 films, 6 performances nominated for Best Supporting Actress. I'm the only one that knows what these are. Oh, by the way, I will say this. With our major categories, there are already 26 films that have been nominated for Pinos. 26 films in the major categories. Just throwing that out there. Okay. So the nominees for Best Supporting Actress are Vera Farmiga for Up in the Air, Anna Kendrick for Up in the Air, Melanie Laurent for Inglourious Bastards, Monique for Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire, Julianne Moore for A Single Man, and Samantha Morton for The Messenger. So there we go. Our 6 nominees for Best Supporting Actress. What do you guys think?
I was not expecting a double I was not expecting Anna Kendrick.
I wasn't expecting Vera Farmiga to get in there. I thought she's the weak link in the movie, but that's interesting. It's an interesting group, but it is Oscar heavy there, and Oscar contenders, like every single one of them. So I guess that's good.
I think there are 3 of those 6 were in the nominated 5. Vera Farmiga, Anna Kendrick, and Monique. Julianne Moore was close.
Oh, okay.
I think she was close. She didn't get in.
And I'm sure Laurent was close, just like Diane Kruger. I bet they were in the next few.
Who were the other 2 that missed out? That were nominated at the Oscars? I'm trying to remember.
Penelope Cruz in 9.
Oh, yeah. Penelope Cruz in 9.
And Maggie Gyllenhaal in Crazy Heart.
Maggie Gyllenhaal in Crazy Heart. You're right. Anybody else with some comments on this lineup?
It's a good lineup. It'll be good to see our first Inglourious Bastards nom, The Messenger, 2 for Up in the Air already. I think those are some big heavy-hitter movies. So
I nominated Jennifer Coolidge from Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. I was really hoping she'd sneak in there. I love her performance in that movie. It was disappointing to not have her there. I think this is
nominated.
Yes, please. I mean, we don't have to say the order, right? We just have to say like
other people that were
we nominated. Yes.
So we each submitted our top 10 for each category, except picture. We submitted a top 25 because we made a 10. So we're gonna say others that we mentioned in our top 10 in no particular order. So Zach, since you already mentioned Jennifer Coolidge, why don't you keep going?
Okay, I also had Sofia Vasilova. She sounds like a tennis player, but she was actually the sister, the titular sister in My Sister's Keeper, movie that might appear on a couple of my other lists, an underrated movie from that year. I also had Maggie Gyllenhaal in Away We Go, which I'm sure Todd likes. I had Maggie Gyllenhaal in Crazy Heart. She was a double nominee for me. It was a big year for Maggie G. I
wasn't aware we could do that.
We can't do that? Why couldn't we do that?
Because I don't know, we normally go by like Oscar rules, but yeah, I mean, that's good to know.
There's an Oscar rule that says you can't be nominated twice for different movies.
Yeah,
you can't pull a Steven Soderbergh in 2000.
No, not for performances.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, anyway, I also have Heather Graham for The Hangover, Mila Kunis for Extract, and my personal favorite, Ali Larter for Obsessed. And I think that says probably more about the category than it does about the quality of performances.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a thin category. Todd, why don't you go next?
So I had my top 2 did not make it. Those were Juliette Binoche in Summer Hours and Selma Blair in The Poker House. Kind of disappointed Juliette Binoche didn't make it in, but I don't know if anyone else has seen Summer Hours. I also had Angelica Brandon in Paraiso Travel, and I had Alicia Delmore in Hump Day, Kim Basinger in The Burning Plain, and Bailey Madison as the daughter in Brothers.
All right. Well, I had Natalie Portman in Brothers on my list. I had Maggie Gyllenhaal for Crazy Heart. I did have Penelope Cruz for 9. This was a list I just had trouble filling out. I had Rosamund Pike for An Education. One I sneaky love. I rewatched Precious to get ready for this, and Paula Patton in Precious is pretty awesome. And I also have Zoe Saldana for Avatar in there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So Adam, he said his computer died, so he's working on it. He's going to be getting back to us soon.
Looks like we just had our glitch for our mission.
Yeah, we just had our glitch for this mission.
Only took 16 minutes. And
I was about to do what Adam just told me to do over text, which is reveal his list because I have it, because I have all the lists here. So Adam, his that were not mentioned, he had Catherine Keener for Where the Wild Things Are. He had Kristen Stewart for Adventureland. He had Diane Kruger for Inglourious Bastards. He also had Jennifer Coolidge for Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans. He had Mariah Carey for Precious. And I think those are all the ones that were not on the list. Yep. So there we go. That's our best supporting actress list. It's a solid list. I think. But like we said, this is kind of one of the weaker categories too. So
I don't know if it's that weak. I didn't expect us to go that Oscar heavy. Like this is not reflective of my list at all. So that's
interesting. Okay, well let's move on. So we revealed that one. It is now time for us to have a debated category. We're still waiting for Adam to get back. He'll be back eventually. But it's time to move on to the best minor character of the year. This is the Amazing Larry Big Tim High Roller Award that we give during our deep dives. Not necessarily someone with a big enough role to be considered supporting, but just minor. So let's slide that aside. There we go. And yes, Adam is coming back. But for right now, we're randomizing the order of how this goes. So chances are Adam is going to be selected first, but we'll see how this goes. The first one to give a nominee for Best Minor Character of 2009 is Zach.
Can I wait until Adam comes back?
I just go for it.
Okay, because I think
go, man.
Adam's the only one who's going to appreciate it / help me out with it because I don't know.
I'm kind of nervous now.
It that well. My favorite minor character in 2009 comes from the movie The Girlfriend Experience. Now, The Girlfriend Experience is a really hard movie to rewatch. It's not streaming anywhere. The DVD is impossible to find. So Adam and I have been actually texting back and forth about The Girlfriend Experience probably more than any other 2009 film. The Girlfriend Experience did make my top 25, by the way. Very good Steven Soderbergh movie. My favorite minor character, I mean, help with him. Maybe you guys remember the movie, but there is a character in the movie who is known as the erotic connoisseur. Oh, there he is. Okay,
Girlfriend
Adam.
Experience, woo!
Adam, do you remember the erotic connoisseur from The Girlfriend Experience? The guy who is the critic of the porn industry, and he has a talk with Sasha Grey about her strengths and her deficiencies as a porn star. And he's a little bit like the comic book guy in The Simpsons. I mean, he's a little bit oversized, he's a little pretentious with his picks. He would think that he's too good for like Flesh of the Stars. He wouldn't really mess with that group. I believe he talks about Sasha Grey, kind of appeals to more of an intellectual type of porn connoisseur, but I think she rebuffs him in a lot of ways, so he gives her a bad grade and kind of stifles her career. Anyway, I mean, this is in the grand tradition of great Big Tim, perverse minor characters, and he's played by an actor named Glenn Kenny. And yeah, he's great. I love the Erotic Connoisseur. I would like to see more of him. I want to know more of his work, and I wish we had the collected works of the Erotic Connoisseur. His criticism in, like, the Village Voice or whatever fringe online publication he was publishing in 2009. So I knew you'd appreciate that pick, Adam. Don't you love the porn connoisseur, Erotic Connoisseur? Excuse me.
Yeah, it's those conversations he has at the restaurant are really interesting to have there. It's definitely been a fascinating watch to visit that movie.
I can't even find the scene with him. There's no scenes of the movie. You can't even get scenes in the movie on YouTube. It's like they've completely tried to erase the memory of this movie. But I do remember that character. So that's just a testament to what an impact he had on me watching the movie 15 years ago. Do you guys remember that character? Todd, do you remember that character at all? The Erotic Connoisseur?
No.
Okay. Well, that's why I wanted to wait for Adam.
That was good.
Terry,
that was very good.
Terry's contacting Mission Control.
Yeah, sorry. All right, here we go. So we got Glenn Kenny, the Erotic Connoisseur, and the Girlfriend Experience. And next one to pick is me. I gotta go next. Okay, so let's see here. My minor character. Oh, you know what? I'm going with it. This is like in the full spirit of minor characterness. I'm going with Torsten Voges from Funny People, who plays the German doctor of Adam Sandler. The one that they're like, it sounds like you're the Terminator talking to me and telling me that you could give good news and I think I'm going to die.
You're very funny. Very funny.
You're very funny. Yeah. Torsten Voges in Funny People. That's who I'm going to go with as my nominee for best minor character.
It's not who anybody was going with. That's very interesting.
That's I mean, like, true spirit of the award.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of great German doctors, along with the one doctor at the beginning of Paris, Texas, and maybe like Frankenstein. But I think that's, it's a slim list, and that's a solid pick because I do remember what he looks like. I do remember that scene. That's a good one.
It's a good scene. Good scene. All right, next is Adam. Adam, who's your minor character?
Well, now I might have to do an audible because you guys are. Now, you know what? I have to go with it still. I'm going to go with we're going to The Proposal, the Sandra Bullock, Ryan Reynolds vehicle. We're going with a character called Ramon, who is played by Oscar Nunez. And Ramon is awesome because he pops up in several different capacities in this movie. He's a stripper. He works at a restaurant. He works at like this the store. Like, he is the minor character of this place in Canada where Ryan Reynolds lives. So Oscar Nunez, Ramon, relax, don't. And his striptease dance with Sandra Bullock is awesome.
Nice.
So.
I remember the character. Although I saw it for the first time like last year, so.
But that's
all right.
Adam, do you have like a Lane Kiffin like laminated sheet, like a play sheet? Is that what I was looking at? Like,
yeah. I got my.
It's a stack of papers. I was like, that sounded pretty solid.
It's a stack of papers, but I have my sheet. I'm keeping my notes on.
All right, well, Todd, your last.
Dalton became a coach.
All right. I mean, it's got to be Bill Murray in Zombieland. I mean, he shows up and like not only to the delight of all the people watching, but even like the characters in the movie, they're like, Bill fucking Murray, man, he's the best, and he shows up, he does his thing, they reenact his movies, and it's like a killer, like 10-minute tops sequence. I mean, it's the best. Bill Murray's got to be on this list.
It's a good call. That is a good call. All right. So right now we have Glenn Kenny for The Girlfriend Experience. We have Torsten Voges for Funny People, Oscar Nunez for The Proposal, Bill Murray for Zombieland. We need one more that we have to agree on. So we'll throw out some ideas. The close runner-up I had was Lou Ferrigno in I Love You, Man. It's a pretty great one. We could also go with Mike Tyson in The Hangover. Those were the two big ones I still had.
Yeah,
I wrote down Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike Tyson's also on my short list here. But I have like Joel from Martin Starr's character in Adventureland. You got the Bookie on Bad Lieutenant Protocol. That's Brad Dourif's character of Ned. He's pretty awesome. Mike Tyson, the Bear Jew Eli Roth's character in Inglourious Bastards. You got Medea, which throwing that up for there. Luke Ferrigno, Chekhov, because Anton Yelchin probably would have been a Pinot nominated actor at some point. So Chekhov, we have to give him some love there. Doug from Up. Let's go with the two guys at the gas station, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, basically playing Jay and Silent Bob and Fanboys. And Hot Tub, Johnny Rocket, and Whip It, which is Jimmy Fallon's character. So that's what I got.
Wow.
Interesting.
You thought a lot more about this than I did. All I had was Ron Paul for Bruno. You know, like when I don't even remember the scene, but Sacha Baron Cohen somehow got Ron Paul to be in Bruno. So that's all I had. I like Mike Tyson, though. That's a pretty good pick. And I think at some point we need to recognize Mike Tyson. I don't know where exactly. He's not quite a supporting actor. He's not quite a worst performance. I don't know what he is, but he's something in that movie.
All right, the other ones I had written down, I had Bob in Up in the Air, which is J.K. Simmons' character. He's probably got the best scene
that's
in
a
the
good
movie.
one. That's a
I got Hugo Stiglitz in Inglourious Bastards, just because the legend of Hugo is just as good as the Bear Jew, and he's got less of a part. I think Bear Jew is like borderline a little bit too much screen time. I have Jim the bartender in The Invention of Lying, which is like the one scene for Philip Seymour Hoffman, and that they somehow randomly got him to be in that movie.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
And Sal in Big Fan, which is of course Kevin Corrigan, the podcast favorite. His part as the best buddy of Patton Oswalt's character that they go to a few times, and he's I had to put him on there because I mean it could be the Kevin Corrigan minor character award.
It's true. All right, I think it's Mike Tyson or one of the bastards. But I think Mike Tyson sounds good.
Mike Tyson.
Like
two people playing themselves on the list. That's fine.
Yeah, two self cameos. Okay, so we've got Glenn Kenny, Girlfriend Experience, Torsten Voges, Funny People, Oscar Nunez, A Proposal, Bill Murray, Zombieland, Mike Tyson for The Hangover. Who's our winner?
Bill Murray.
I'm thinking Bill Murray.
Bill freaking Murray.
Bill Murray?
I mean, it's either Bill Murray or the guy from The Proposal. That was a good call. But yeah, I mean, Bill Murray was my pick, so I mean that's my vote.
And guess what? I
with Bill Murray.
I would go with The Erotic Connoisseur, but that was my pick. I honestly don't even remember Bill Murray in not Up in the Air, Zombieland. I like J.K. Simmons was a damn good pick though. That's the well, maybe we'll talk about best scenes, but that's like a great scene from that movie. But
it is a great scene.
I'd go if we're not going to Rock Connoisseur because you guys remember, I'd still vote Mike Tyson, but sure, Bill Murray, whatever.
All right, majority rules. We're going with it. Bill Murray, you just want a Pinot for Zombieland. Best minor character of the year.
I have no recollection of him in that movie at all.
Did you watch the movie? It's like the highlight of the movie.
I didn't watch it for this week. It wasn't on my list.
Rumor was that it was supposed to be Mark Hamill. Original.
Oh, that's funny.
That would have been harder to sell that Woody Harrelson was like a monster fan of him, but I mean.
Okay. So moving on, we just did Best Minor Character, and next up we have the worst performance. Now we do often
take it out on Mall Cop.
Yes, I don't know. We have Paul Blart on the screen to represent worst performance. These are the Pinots. However, for categories like this, we say we hand out Merlots, and so that's what we're going to be doing here. It is time to talk the worst performance of the year. Worst performance of the year. First one up is. I think it'll work. Adam, you're first up.
I kind of want to do like a Zach moment here, nominating a movie I haven't seen, but is like critically renowned. That's like the worst performance, but no one on our website has seen it, so I might not go with it.
Do it.
Oh, fine.
Just
do it. We're doing Dragon Ball Evolution. We're doing Justin Chatwin, critically panned Dragon Ball Evolution. Justin Chatwin. Even though I wanted to be Sandra Bullock. That's who I really wanted to nominate.
What, for All About Steve?
All About Steve, yes. We'll do
right.
Justin Chatwin.
Dragon Ball
I've never heard of the guy or the movie, so
yeah, but it's on the list for like being one of the worst adaptations of any anime. So, yeah.
Did you have a Dragon Ball Z era in your life, Adam?
Never seen it. Never done anything with it. No.
Okay.
but you know
So
the
wait.
details of like the
We're
weird
allowed-
I do know.
spin-off movies.
If you look
Wait.
at worst performance in 2009, that guy's on the list. Like I want.
So you're nominating someone you've never seen?
correct. Yeah, I was
approve of
making a
that.
joke that I was gonna do a Zach moment, but I kind of want to
Oh,
do the
okay.
Sandra
That's
Bullock.
totally valid.
Okay, all right, we'll take it. We'll take it.
I wanted
He's
to do
nominated.
Sandra Bullock.
In that
Damn
case,
it.
we should
Okay, well,
nominate everybody from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
No, my brother tried to audition for that movie.
Really?
He did.
Wow.
He didn't get it. So.
Getting rejected from Avatar: The Last Airbender can't
you,
be
Shyamalan.
one of the great moments of your life.
Todd, you're next. Worst
Maybe you
performance.
dodged a bullet. Maybe
All right.
think about it that way.
The true worst performance of 2009 is Will Ferrell in Land of the Lost,
Oh, good
which
call.
is an awful movie. And if you just
Serpentine.
rewatch the trailer, you just see like he is so he like him yelling and he's like sweating at the same time because I feel like he's just so upset with the role because it's such a bad movie and such a bad performance. Will Ferrell, Land of the Lost. I mean, I think that's one of the worst movies of that year and
Serpentine.
the worst performance.
Serpentine.
God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it. I love Land of the Lost, man. That's rough.
Wow.
Wow, you're like
I
the
love
only
that
person.
movie. I know. I think I'm the only person that loves that movie.
Was it
Okay.
Danny McBride in that?
Yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm. He was in that. All right. Next is Zach. Worst performance.
Okay. Yeah, I want to piss Todd off. I'm going to go Max Records and Where the Wild Things Are. I don't like him. He's the weak link of the movie. He's annoying. I tried rewatching the movie, couldn't get past Max Records. It's a Todd pick because it will annoy Todd, but it's also a kid pick. Say what you will. I find him annoying. And I think he's the weak link of the movie. And in a movie that I think was like the first Troll movie, because I think it was like trying to offend some sort of sensibilities when Spike Jonze made it. So yeah, Max Records is my pick.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Wow, wow.
If it was a
He had
Todd
to
pick,
be
you
annoying.
would put him in there for most punchable face, but
I
would've
could, but
put
I had a
that.
better most punchable face. Maybe it is the performance. Maybe it's like the character too, but I just find him endlessly annoying. But I think it was by design. I don't know. I can't.
I rewatched that movie the other day. I mean, I still think he's amazing. He was almost in my top 10 for best actor. So
Wow.
He never worked again though, did he? Like, that was not exactly a role that got him a lot of recognition. I think this was like a great Cody. I would have loved to see a young Cody Smith McPhee in that role. I think he would have like been incredible. But maybe the kids.
he was doing The Road that year.
Yeah, he's great in The Road, by the way. That's a great contrast of great kid performances.
All right. Well, I'm the last one up to submit mine, and I'm gonna go.
Max
there we
Records,
go.
by the way.
You know what? Okay. I've got two I'm debating between. One I think would be a really good consensus pick. So I kind of want to save it. Oh.
Well, 2 years in a row,
No.
the consensus has to be Taylor Lautner, right?
Oh, that's possible.
No.
Okay. I'm going Quentin Aaron for The Blind Side, playing Michael Orr.
That's a good.
Wow.
He's
Yeah, he was not good.
He gives it his all, but his all wasn't that great. So servicing a not so great movie. So that's my pick.
There we go. That's something.
Okay,
Definitely
so we've
not
got
where I thought we were going with this.
we got Justin Chatwin, Dragon Ball Evolution, Will Ferrell, Land of the Lost, Max Records, Where the Wild Things Are, and Quentin Aaron, The Blind Side. See, that was the one I thought was probably going to be a good consensus pick. The other one I had was Hugh Grant for Did You Hear About the Morgans? But
I never
I don't know
saw
if you
it.
have seen that. Yeah.
Like how we have 4 main characters.
Yeah, I have Sandra Bullock for All About Steve, Kevin James for Paul Blart, Steve Martin for the Pink Panther 2, Ambaga, John Travolta, and Robin Williams for Old Dogs. But more for Taken 2, Maggie Grace is kind of not the greatest actress. She's unbearable and Lost and in the Taken movies. So that's who I would really push for.
A lot of the performances you just mentioned I have not seen. So
You haven't seen Taken?
I've seen Taken.
on Taken 2.
No.
So my dishonorable mentions are Christian Bale in Terminator Salvation. I think he's awful in that. Like, it never made sense why he got cast in that. Maggie Gyllenhaal in Away We Go, which is terrible. Ken Jeong in The Hangover. Larry David in Whatever Works, the Woody Allen movie. One of the worst ones Woody Allen ever did. Yes, and Adam has the pose, right? And of course, Taylor Lautner in New Moon.
Okay, Christian Bale's not a bad shout because he was a dick off camera too. So yelling at people, going on tirades.
Oh yeah,
yelling at
that was the
camera
movie
crew.
that was the leaked footage, right?
Yeah. Watch my review
By Mick G.
Yeah, watch my review of Terminator Salvation on the channel. I put some of the audio in there. It's good.
I haven't seen Terminator Salvation, but the whole off screen stuff might clinch it for Bale. Zach, what do you got?
I have 2 Oscar nominees that I think deserve some recognition. One is Stanley Tucci in The Lovely Bones. That's a terrible performance. Even worse Oscar nomination. And then I think why not go with Vera Farmiga? I mean, we just shit on her nomination. I don't know why she was nominated. I certainly didn't nominate her. I don't think she's very good in that movie. She's much better in Orphan. And then the last one was, I kind of thought about this as sort of a meta worst performance. I thought about Leslie Mann in This Is 40 in Funny People, because she's a bad actress, as Terry liked to point out in his review of the movie. So like, she's not good at performing, but it's actually a good performance. So maybe it's just a little too meta, but no, I think we go Vera Farmiga. Have we ever had a worst performance winner that was also nominated for a best performance Pinot? Let's do that shit, man.
Well, you did nominate Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer last year, so.
That's true, but I didn't nominate. Well, yeah, that's a fair point. Call it the Robert Downey Jr. She's gonna pull an RDJ. Yes.
See, which one was I liking? I was like, Christian Bale. I'm liking Christian Bale. I like that. I really like Vera Farmiga's performance. And Up in the Air.
Okay.
Christian Bale. Are we good with Christian Bale?
I mean, I haven't seen it. All I've heard is
I haven't seen it either. I've seen the tirade. Yeah.
The tirade was amazing. I think if you can't say it's a bad performance to get that piece of memorabilia out of it.
Well, do we go Taylor Lautner again for New Moon?
It could just be an ongoing thing for the next 5 years.
I think it could be that every year he gets the consensus pick. I'm good with that. Why not?
All right.
So, I love it.
Wow.
So, all right, so we got Justin Chatwin, Dragon Ball Evolution, Will Ferrell, Land of the Lost, Max Records, Where the Wild Things Are, Quentin Aaron, The Blind Side, and Taylor Lautner for New Moon.
I like Quentin Aaron to win this.
Quentin Aaron.
I never had a problem with him in that movie. I thought Sandra Bullock was the more egregious pick. I can't say I've seen the whole movie though, so maybe that's the issue.
That is the issue.
He just doesn't work. He doesn't work.
Even Michael Orr says it doesn't work.
But Michael Orr was criticizing the movie though. He was criticizing the depiction, not necessarily the acting, right?
True. But he's not athletic. Like, they got a guy who's not an athlete just because he was 300 pounds to play this guy who's a freak athlete. I don't know.
He wouldn't get your blind side. He'll get your front side. Anyway.
I'm good with Quentin Aaron is my pick, but it sounds like we're mostly good with Quentin Aaron.
Yep.
We're going Quentin Aaron. You just want him or low. All right. We're good. That's worst performance. We're rolling right along here. We just did worst performance. And now it's time for Best Supporting Actor.
Wait, this is the wrong award because Matt Damon. He shouldn't be. What movie?
Don't worry.
Oh,
don't worry. Don't worry. This is for Morgan Freeman.
Didn't realize that Matt Damon was in The Shawshank Redemption.
Okay. Here we go.
It's for Morgan Freeman, but he's not supported.
No, that's right. He's actor. It's for Matt. Disregard. It's 2009. The Merlots, the Pinot's hitting hard. Okay, 09. Okay.
See, we'll go over this later, but you did something later that I liked that you should have done with these two categories. Anyways, Best Supporting Actor nominees are Ben Affleck for Extract.
There we go. The people's champ right there.
Yes.
Steve Buscemi for The Messenger.
Yes.
All right.
James Gandolfini for Where the Wild Things Are.
Way better than Max Records.
Woody Harrelson for The Messenger.
Way better than Pete Conrad.
Anthony Mackie for The Hurt Locker.
Wow. Okay.
And Christoph Waltz for Inglourious Bastards.
You bastards did not watch me and Orson Welles.
I did not get to be in Orson Welles.
Did not.
I only told you about it for an entire year leading up to this. And you still couldn't watch the Richard Linklater movie. That's just
True story.
Wow, that's Anthony Mackie getting in there. That's way better than I thought it was going to turn out to be.
Let's see here. Two of these were nominated for the Oscar, which means that was Woody Harrelson and Christoph Waltz. We left out Matt Damon for Invictus, and we left out
Stanley Tucci
for The Lovely Bones, and we left out Todd. Come on.
Oh,
You're not gonna get this one.
Christopher Plummer
for The Last Station.
yeah.
You're not gonna get that. All right. What do we think, Zach? You were excited.
Yeah, I mean, I think 3 of these performances are great. The other 3 I don't remember as well. But yeah, I'm happy for my boy Ben Affleck. You know, Adam and I were texting. I feel like Extract was the beginning of the Renaissance. Okay, it was the beginning of what became Argo. And I know the fans out there. We've all, everyone loves Christoph Waltz. This is the movie that unequivocally, one of the great villains of all time. I want to make the case for Ben Affleck. No one can do facial hair quite like Ben Affleck in that movie. He's a great bartender, great stick man, great best friend to Jason Bateman. Great performance by Bennifer. And
at a hotel bar.
At a hotel bar. I'm glad he got the nom. He's full of great ideas in the movie, too. He's a great idea man. Terry, did you see Extract on the plane?
I did not.
God damn it. Well, anyway, I'm happy that Bennifer is there.
Yeah, I'm happy with this. This is a good. I've got Buscemi getting on there for his little 5-minute performance. That's clutch. Good job, Todd. Yeah. that's a clutch.
Todd is pulling for The Messenger. Todd is like.
By the way, I'm a big fan of that movie too. That's really
all
good.
All right. Well, let's look at what else was on our lists. And Todd, you start off with that.
So yeah, my number 1, of course, was Christian McKay in Me and Orson Welles, which is absurd that he's not getting nominated here. Denis Lavant for Tokyo. I had on my list. I also had John Krasinski in Brief Interviews with Hideous Men, which he actually directed too, but he definitely gave himself the best part of that movie. Fred Melamed for A Serious Man. He's the highlight of that, and Stanley Tucci and Julie and Julia. I also had to mention, which I think is by far the better performance of the two that he had that year.
Yeah, good call.
All right, Adam, what do you got?
I had Alfred Molina for Education, Tobey Maguire for Brothers. I had Daniel Bruhl for Inglourious Bastards, Brad Dourif for Halloween 2. It's a great performance. It's a great performance. And my number 1, Jackie Earle Haley for Watchmen, baby. Let's go.
Rorschach.
All right. Well, I had a performance in An Education, but I had Peter Sarsgaard, not Alfred Molina. I did have Stanley Tucci for The Lovely Bones. You guys are crapping on it. It's not a horrible performance. Jason Segel and I Love You Man I had on my list. I had Jamie Foxx in The Soloist on my list.
I forgot about The Soloist.
Yeah.
Terry's pushing the category fraud button here a little bit.
It is. I mean,
the last 2.
Yeah, you could kind of say that. Yeah. Matt Damon in Invictus I had on my list. He's actually pretty good in that.
Yeah, he's good.
And then just a couple shout outs to some favorites. Alec Baldwin in It's Complicated I had on my list. And George Clooney for The Men Who Stare at Goats.
There we go.
Of course.
Yeah. Zach, what else was on your list?
I had Zach Galifianakis for The Hangover. I'm shocked no one else did. I had Seth Rogen from Funny People. That's a bit of category fraud too, but I think Sandler's technically the lead. I had Red West from Goodbye Solo. He's the old guy. Todd knows that performance. I had Brian Garrity from The Hurt Locker. Shout out to Eldridge. I had Colin Farrell from Crazy Heart. This was the first time where Colin Farrell did a supporting role where he wore prosthetics and grew his hair out. So I think that was the beginning of something. I also had Aidan Gould from Julia, the Tilda Swinton movie. And I also had Ron Paul from Bruno. I'm not sure why. I really just kind of threw away my vote there, but I wanted to put that in there for some reason.
Oh, yeah, good call.
All right. Well, there we go. There are our Best Supporting Actress nominees one more time. Ben Affleck for Extract, Steve Buscemi for The Messenger, James Gandolfini for Where the Wild Things Are, Woody Harrelson for The Messenger, Anthony Mackie for The Hurt Locker, and Christoph Waltz for Inglourious Bastards. Again, we will reveal the winners of this and all the major categories in 2 weeks on our podcast. So let's move on. Next category. It's a favorite of ours. The role for Cage. The most Nicolas Cage performance of the year that wasn't already played by Nicolas Cage. Our graphic here, I think those are the 4 movies he had that year.
Yeah, it is.
So we got what, Bad Lieutenant. We've got Knowing. Is that Knowing?
It's on the right. Yep.
G-Force.
Yep.
And
Astro
Boy.
Yep. Couple bangers.
That is a collection there.
50% of them are good.
Lots of different hairstyles.
Yeah, that's how you know it's Cage.
He's like a rat in
the most Nicolas Cage performance, and this time we are starting with Adam.
All right, so I'm glad oh, dang it, man. There's 2.
Just malfunctioned.
What? No, yeah, there's 2. This is the part I didn't want to be the first one, but you know what? I'm doing it, man. He just played Longlegs. I haven't seen that yet, but he plays this awesome like murderer, apparently, right? Psychopath. So again, he's going to be a doctor in this one. He's going to be Dr. Josef Heider, who is portrayed by Dieter Lesser in The Human Centipede. He's going to be the psychotic doctor into this movie, making the Human Centipede experiment. So there's the shout out to my Nicolas Cage performance. I think he could play pretty torment. Yeah. I don't even have The Human Centipede logged as a movie I've seen, but I've definitely seen it. This completely changes things. I completely forgot that The Human Centipede was an 2009 movie. I think I have to nominate it in some of these. That is a perfect pick from Adam. That's going to be hard to top.
That is a good one.
My top 2 were pretty damn good, I think, but we'll see how it plays.
Well, that was a great pick.
The first one that gets to try and top it is me. So, yeah, let's see what I come up with here. I've got a good list, but none of them are really like great. Let's see here. Which one do I want to go with? I'm gonna go with. Yeah, you know what? That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go kind of full circle here and wrap in one of the other categories we have coming up. I'm going with Matt Damon's role in The Informant as a very Nicolas Cage role.
There we go. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad though.
It's very like Matchstick Men Nicolas Cage. I could see it happening.
He doesn't have a lot of mustaches in his roles, except for maybe like World Trade Center.
That's a good point.
World Trade Center, yeah.
He's not a very mustachioed person, but yeah, that's my pick. Matt Damon's role in The Informant.
I like it.
All right, next is Todd.
All right, so when I would have reviewed one of my JCR movies, my Talaboogies, I think it was actually this year I reviewed it, and we're like, how was Nicolas Cage not in this movie? How was he not the lead role in Cirque du Freak, the Vampire's Assistant? And so I'm going Larton Crepsley, the John C. Reilly role, as the vampire in The Vampire's Assistant. Because, I mean, he had The Sorcerer's Apprentice. This is basically the same movie. And, Cage, he needed this role. I mean, especially looking at what he was doing this year. Like, he needed one, like, like good sort of box office potential movie. So why not?
Yeah, good call. It's not a
Like
bad
it.
call. And JCR now,
Yeah, good.
nominated.
I would have thought he was in that movie if you had described the movie to me. So it fits.
It tracks. It tracks, Cotton.
All right. Well, Zach, you're the last one. What do you got?
I'm gonna go a little bit outside the normal boundaries here. I'm going to say the best Nicolas Cage role would have been Joaquin Phoenix on the David Letterman show, because Cage's persona, I mean, he would have had to grow facial hair for it too, but the glasses and technically I can't say I'm not there because I think that was a 2010 film, but his Letterman appearance was in 2009 and it predated the release of I'm not there. I'm not here. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he could have played every role and I'm not there. That would have.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
I'm not
true
there.
too. I think it's an 2007 movie, but that's true as well. I think that helps add credibility to his case. But yes, Joaquin Phoenix on the David Letterman show is the most Cagean thing I've ever seen.
2010 movie. It's a nomination already.
No,
well, it's not the movie. It's his
Letterman.
appearance
Letterman
on Letterman.
Yeah,
Okay.
Letterman gets a nomination. Okay. All right, so we've got, is it Dietrich Lesser, right? That's what you said?
Dietrich. Yeah.
From The Human Centipede, Matt Damon from The Informant, John C. Reilly for Cirque du Freak, The Vampire's Apprentice. Right? Apprentice, right?
Yeah.
Did I say that right? I think I did. And Joaquin Phoenix for The David Letterman Show.
All right.
All right. What else do we got here that we want to
right.
throw out there?
I got Jackson Curtis, which is John Cusack's character in 2012. Which is a good one. Wickus, Charlie Copley's character in District 9. Seeing him turn into a prawn was the one I was kind of debating.
Yeah, I had that written down too.
That's the one that would be like really tough to beat. But I wanted to go with the Dean Ben Affleck's character in Extract, seeing him as a drug dealer or a bartender. That would be kind of interesting to see. Mike Tyson as Mike Tyson in The Hangover. I think that he could do Mike Tyson.
Cage is Mike Tyson.
Nero, Eric Bana's character in Star Trek. He could.
I had him written down too.
Yeah, Brian Mills in Taken, Liam Neeson's character in
I had
Taken.
that written down too.
Yeah, that's another one. Michael Ironside in Terminator Salvation. That's a horrible pick. The comedian in The Watchmen. He basically did that the next year in Kick-Ass. So that's a bad pick. And the clown zombie in Zombieland. This him that one scene shows up as a clown zombie. Yeah, that's Derek Graff who plays this clown zombie in Zombieland. So that's what I have.
All right, a couple others I had written down. I had Bill Murray in Zombieland. I thought that would have worked for him.
That's not bad.
It would have been a very the Massive Talent movie.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember the name of it fully right now. George Clooney in Men Who Stare at Goats was a very Cage performance. Stephen Lang in Avatar would have been an interesting one. And then I also wrote down Guy Pearce in The Hurt Locker. Like, I don't know if Cage has ever had a performance where he dies in the first 5 minutes, but it felt like it fit. So, Zach, what else did you have written down?
I had Woody Harrelson in Zombieland. I had whoever's the lead character in Boondock Saints 2 All Saints Day.
Yeah, Norman Reedus.
Bronson, the Tom Hardy role in Bronson. And why was Nicolas Cage? I think the best opportunity for Nicolas Cage to team up with Lars von Trier would have been Antichrist. So I would go Willem Dafoe and Antichrist.
All right, Todd, what else did you have?
Well, I had Brian Mills from Taken and Vickis and Vandermeer in District 9. I also had Ian Wright, which is the Joel Edgerton character in Acolytes. He's like a serial killer, and it seems like his type of movie. And I also had Walter Garber, which is the Denzel Washington role in The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. That's like a total 90s Nicolas Cage action movie, and it just being the lead of that movie. Yeah, absolutely.
I like it.
I like District 9.
The District 9 call is pretty good. Like,
yeah.
When you said watching him turn into an alien, like that's Nicolas Cage.
Taken. If he was the main character in Taken, it would have been direct to video, and it would have fit in with all of his other movies.
Yeah, that's true. And him eating cat food, that's awesome too in District 9.
Yeah.
Zach, what do you think? District 9 sound good?
About what?
Charlton Copley's role in District 9.
I think
Or-
it's over.
okay.
I think it doesn't matter who the fifth pick is because the winner is obviously the Human Centipede.
That's fair. So what? All right. Then let's do it. Let's go. Charlton Copley. Charlton Copley's role in District 9.
It's over.
And Human Centipede.
I don't even know what it is, but sure.
You should watch it. It's really good. The first one's good. The second two are not so good. But Human
The first
Centipede,
one is good. I like the first one as well.
The first one's great. He sews his victims like ass to mouth and makes the perfect digestive system. It's great. And he tries it with
sounds like
Rottweilers.
something. It sounds like something Cage would be in.
Yeah, he tries it with Rottweilers at first too. It's great.
He's also very handy in the movie too. A lot of the movie, a surprising amount of the movie, is just the engineering and the mechanics of what he constructs. It's almost like George Clooney in Burn After Reading. Like he's building something in his basement. You can't quite tell what it is, but yeah, he's fascinating.
All right, so
the Human Centipede got a Pinot.
This is the craziest. This is the craziest cat. Like last year, we gave it to the Bear and Cocaine Bear. So I mean,
that is true.
It always goes.
The Bear and the Revenant's like you're telling me there's a chance.
Exactly. All right. So there we go. Human Centipede wins a role for Cage.
I guess I'll have to watch it.
Yep. Todd's
And
got something to watch now.
That's like a
There we
total
go.
not streaming anywhere movie.
Probably.
Moving on. Our next category is most underrated movie. And when we do our current Pinots, we do most surprising and most disappointing. But since we're looking back 15 years with some hindsight, we go underrated and overrated. So now we're talking most underrated movie. And the first one to talk about this is going to be Todd.
All right, the most underrated movie of 2009. I thought this when it came out. I wrote a review on the website for it way back when. It's the Channing Tatum movie Fighting, which is directed by Dido Montiel, who is one of my favorite, just like under the radar directors. The director of A Guide to Recognizing Your Saints, and this is like Channing Tatum doing like basically Step Up, but as like a street fighting movie, and it really works. And he is awesome in it. Terrence Howard is fantastic in it. It's like an actually like really good movie that nobody ever gave credit for. Fighting is the definition of underrated. And if you look at like its scores from critics, it's like 35% or something from Rotten Tomatoes, but like 65% on Metacritic. So it's like the critics actually matter. We're like, yeah, I mean, we got to give it to Channing Tatum. He's actually killing in this. So Fighting is absolutely the pick.
All right. Next, we have Adam.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
What play are you calling? Are you in a 3-4 defense there?
Okay.
Send the nickel.
Spider 2, wide banana.
Yeah, Omaha. I know this is not going to be liked a lot because a lot of people just bashed it, but I think that what Rob Zombie really did well in 2009 was he stepped out of the realm of making just a cookie cutter like sequel to Halloween, and he made this completely bonkers movie, and Halloween 2, and that's what I'm going to go with. Rewatching Halloween 2, it's actually it's up there in my top 4 favorite Halloween movies. Every character is dealing with their trauma from the previous installment in their own ways. If it's Dr. Loomis, if it's Laurie Strode, if it's Annie Brackett, even Brad Dourif's character as the sheriff here, they're all dealing with it differently. And some of the most brutal kills happen in this movie here. The bonkers opening premonition sequence is, or flashback sequence is just extraordinary. And Halloween 2 is what I originally thought of, even though I have kind of a long list here. I'm going to go with Halloween 2, even though it's it may get panned, but I feel it's truly underrated. So
I co-sign. The Rob Zombie movies are really underrated.
Yeah, because you get such in the form of like you have to make this sequel with these legacy characters before. Yeah, David Gordon Green did good things with his trilogy, even though I don't agree with everything. Rob Zombie did completely crazy things, even with his wife showing up with his white horse and everything. It's completely bonkers, out of left field stuff. It's kind of like Matt Damon, what movie are you actually in? Or what franchise are you in, Matt Damon? that's Halloween 2 here. That's why it's a bonkers movie. Got to go with Halloween 2 as underrated.
Is it better than the original Halloween 2 with Donald Pleasance?
I would say so. Yes.
So it's the better of the two Halloween 2s.
Correct. And Mike Myers doesn't have his mask on the entire time. Shocking.
All right, so we started off with two movies I haven't seen. Let's see what we get next from Zach. Zach's next.
All right, I'm going with a movie that I originally gave thumbs down to, but I've actually watched it in recent years, and I realize it's a great movie. It's a classic. It has 19% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is lower than either of your guys' films. It is the classic Idris Elba, Beyonce, Ali Larter threesome romance movie, Obsessed. Obsessed is on Pluto TV from time to time, and I find myself watching it a lot. It's the modern day version of Fatal Attraction. You've got Idris Elba as the very debonair, the chic, the guy who's going up the corporate ladder, and he's married to Beyonce, and she's at home with their baby son. And then enter this white bitch named Ali Larter. Okay, she comes in and she really pushes hard on Idris Elba. Now, Idris Elba, he doesn't want anything to do with that shit. He really tries to fend her off. But
I've seen this movie.
She's a maniacal, crazy woman. I mean, she's got like the Rosamund Pike Gone Girl, white girl shit going on in the movie. Okay, and she's great at it. And she does some things in this movie that like Demi Moore, Disclosure would be proud of. And all the while Beyonce doesn't believe Idris Elba, but you know what? Love wins in the end, and it's a great love triangle, I guess. It ends with Ali Larter literally hanging from the chandelier. There's fireworks in this movie. It's wonderful. So I really am a big fan of Obsessed, and the song is great too. The Mariah Carey song. Mariah Carey had a nice 2009 as well. But it's a classic. It's an absolute banger of a movie. I would deep dive that shit in a second. Great movie.
I've seen this movie. I put it down for 2010, so that's my bad. But yeah, I need to put that on my 2009 letterbox list. So yeah, Obsessed. I've seen it. It's good. It's entertaining.
It's fun,
I guess.
All right, it is now my turn. I get the last pick here.
Pick a movie you've seen.
And Terry will have a movie he's seen.
Okay,
I'll have a movie he's seen. It's the one chance I think it might actually have it getting a Pinot nomination. I don't think you guys necessarily like it, but I'm going to throw it out there because I rewatched it like in the last couple weeks, and it still holds up. It's amazing. It's The Men Who Stare at Goats.
There we go. There's the Terry pick.
This wild movie about a branch of the government that like was training people to like fight mentally and like read minds and stare at goats and kill them. And it's a star-studded cast like Ewan McGregor, George Clooney, Jeff Bridges, Kevin Spacey. It's got a huge cast, and it's bonkers. It's completely insane, and it's a good movie, and everyone hates it, and it's a forgotten movie. Like nobody remembers this movie. Like I could have gone It's Complicated, but people remember It's Complicated. No one remembers The Men Who Stare at Goats exists.
That's a solid point, though. It's a solid argument.
That's what I'm going with.
Okay, that's solid. Not too bad.
All right, so we've got Fighting, we've got Halloween 2, we've got Obsessed, we've got The Men Who Stare at Goats. We need a consensus pick.
Okay,
all right. Go ahead, take it off, Todd.
The other ones I had written down. If I changed my vote this morning, my number one choice is going to be Big Fan, which I think is one of the absolute best movies of the year. And the fact that people don't watch that to start every football season, it's weird to me. I absolutely love Big Fan. I also have a movie called Sleep Dealer that nobody's ever seen, but it's really good, like low budget sci-fi. Knowing is actually really fun. I rewatched most of that a couple weeks ago. The Burning Plane, I think, got unnecessarily like shit on by critics. That was the Guillermo Arriaga movie, his first one without Iñárritu. Drag Me to Hell, I just think is a great movie. And 5 Minutes of Heaven is a really good Liam Neeson movie from that year, where it reminds everybody that he really can act. He's not just an action star.
Yeah, it's a good one. My list, I have Adventureland, Jesse Eisenberg, Kristen Stewart movie. I think is doesn't get talked about anymore. The Box with Cameron Diaz and Frank Langella, Pino nominated actor there. The Collector, which you reviewed last week. The Nazi zombie movie Dead Snow was cool. Fanboys. Knowing, which I would be pushing for. I think Knowing has some really great concepts there, especially on rewatch there as well. Moon with Sam Rockwell. I don't think that gets talked about enough either. And Watchmen and Where the Wild Things Are. So that's the other two ones I put down.
Zach?
Yeah, I don't know how we define this category because I usually just go off Rotten Tomatoes. Like underrated, I think of bad critics. Like critics liked Big Fan, but it's underseen is how I would describe it, not necessarily underrated. I went with Orphan, my Sister's Keeper, 2012, and until Todd said this, I didn't think of it, but it's a great pick, is Knowing. I agree. Knowing is really fun. And I actually saw it in the theater and really enjoyed it. The one critic who did like it was Ebert, who randomly gave it 4 stars. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it is a really good movie.
Right?
Yeah, Knowing.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah, Knowing's a fun one.
I don't think I've seen Knowing, but I'm okay going with that.
I think we go with it.
Throwing a cager on for underrated. Like, there's a reason when I was putting the categories together that I put the underrated movie after the cager category. So I think
have that one win. I think that's we have 3 of the 4 of it's great. We have to watch it. It's a good movie, man. It has
35% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Has a great scene that could be up for contention later. We'll talk about it.
I remember actually like having chills during that movie. Like I don't really remember the movie a whole lot, but I do remember the way I felt watching it. I think I saw it in a theater with no one else, and it was kind of a trippy experience. So I'd love to rewatch that movie.
All right, we're giving it to Knowing. Knowing wins. Unless you guys want to give it to The Men Who Stare at Goats. I mean, I'd be okay with that too.
I think we'll pass.
Okay.
What's our next category, Terry?
All right. Well, you want to take a break from categories and talk a little bit about 2009? I've got some fun stuff here.
Okay, what do you got?
Do it.
All right. Who was the number 1 pick in the NFL draft in 2009?
Johnny Manziel. No, that's later.
Oh.
Sam Bradford?
No, you're on the right track though.
Yeah, it's the right era. Mario Williams?
No,
that was a little late.
It's Matthew Stafford.
2009
NFL season ended with who over who in the Super Bowl?
The Giants over the
44.
Patriots?
No. Saints and Colts.
Saints over Colts. Correct.
Go Drew Brees.
Tracy Porter interception.
MVP,
I won money on that.
NFL MVP that year was?
Manning.
Yeah, it's got to be Peyton. Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year?
Breeze?
No. Chris Johnson.
Oh, 2,000-yard season.
I think that was his 2,000-yard season, yeah. But there was another record set that year. D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart became the first teammates to both rush over 1,000 yards that year, too. Defensive Player of the Year was Charles Woodson.
He made the top 100, I think. ESPN top 100?
Oh, I haven't looked at that yet.
I think he's
Offensive Rookie of the Year, Percy Harvin. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Brian Cushing. Those rookies definitely panned out.
Roided out.
Yeah.
The Cush.
So there's a little taste of 2009 in the NFL for you. I've got some others that will bust out as we go along too. But
good stuff there, Terry.
Thank you. I tried.
That's why you host.
This is why I host. We're moving on from most underrated movie to best adapted screenplay. Now, Todd, you had thoughts on best adapted screenplay this year. This was a weak category, but I think we came up with a good set of nominees
for the category. I think it's like maybe the worst group of potential nominees that we've done as far as like the 5 years that we've been doing this, or four or five, I don't know, 4 years.
4 years. Yeah.
This is the worst category. I mean, I think there are like 3 quality nominees, and after that, it's just like, okay, whatever.
All right. Well, what won best adapted screenplay?
It was Precious.
So we've got the winner on our banner here. Precious was the winner. Did it get nominated for the Pinos? We'll see.
And that's why I didn't put it for supporting actress. because
You can still put it. You just throw Monique on there. That's fine. All
I
right.
don't want to double up the movies.
The nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay are District 9,
Okay.
An Education,
All right.
Fantastic Mr. Fox,
Yeah.
The Informant,
Yeah, you called that, Todd.
Like it.
Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire, and Up in the Air. There we go. There's our six.
Yeah, that went about as well as I expected it to.
Well, that kind of sucks.
That's about as good as it could have gone.
I don't know why Precious is nominated here. It's not that great of a screenplay, but okay.
Well,
I mean, it's
talk.
better than the alternative, which is like getting one of the like stupid franchises in here. Which is I was afraid we're gonna get like Star Trek or Harry Potter on here, which would have been even worse. So
Sometime during this week, we will have a debrief where Todd and I look into the stats of all the voting. So watch the podcast feed for that to come out. Zach, go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say that Precious was my number 2 adapted screenplay, in part because the book that it was adapted from, Push, is a challenging book to read. It's written in phonetic language, and it's very stream of consciousness. And so when you read, because I remember reading it around the time the movie came out, and I'm a big fan of Precious. I actually thought it's in my top 25. I thought it held really well, and I think it's maybe not the greatest Oscar win. I don't know if the script is the best part of Precious, but I think if you look at from book to film, and again how it kind of navigates that sort of the device of the narration, but also the kind of internal thoughts of Precious, I thought it's actually a pretty solid screenplay, and of that group, I think it's by far the best.
Yeah, I rewatched Precious recently as well, and I think it holds up. But I texted Todd after watching it and said, it's kind of funny that in the last 15 years, we went from Precious, winning supporting actress and winning adapted screenplay to a movie getting nominated for Best Picture that makes fun of books like Precious in American fiction. And so it's just funny that we went from honoring it to making light of the fact that the African American community can get pigeonholed into a certain area just from books and films like that. And
the Oscar-winning screenwriter doesn't work anymore because, I mean, it's not. I don't know. I think it's kind of not looked at back on as that great of a win. Yeah, he had his directorial debut after this, Violet and Daisy, which is not great either. But I don't know.
Well,
Jeffrey Fletcher.
I'll have to watch The Informant again. I remember not being a big fan of that one. So
I rewatched that recently. Underrated. Like that could have been on the underrated list. That was a good movie. Okay. Well, let's look at what else was on our list. Adam, go for it.
My number 1, Watchmen. Okay.
So you're a Watchmen defender.
That was the very first midnight showing I ever went to. Was Watchmen.
It's a great movie, man.
It was a fun time.
It's a good time, man. Where the Wild Things Are. Surprising that Todd and I couldn't get it up there, but
yeah, that is surprising.
A Single Man I have there. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Sorry, Todd. And Coraline.
Wow, so you had all of those on your list. Good job, Adam.
Yep. Well, not The Informant.
I feel like you only named 4 movies right then. Okay.
1.
Oh, wait.
3.
Oh, wait. No, I named 5. I said a single man.
You named 5.
I said a single man, yeah.
Okay. I'll go next. Other ones I had on my list. I had Invictus on my list. What were the Oscar 5? Now that I'm thinking about it.
Up in the Air.
How did A Single Man not get nominated? It was on my top 10 list.
So the Oscar 5 were Precious, Up in the Air, and Education, In the Loop, and District 9. So we got 4 of the 5 on the list.
Yeah,
anyways,
I figured that was the category here.
So yeah, I had Invictus, I had Star Trek, I had Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, just kind of filling out the bottom of my list. And let's see here, I had all 6. So the only other one that missed was The Men Who Stare at Goats. You're welcome.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
Good job.
All right.
Go ahead, Todd.
Okay. Well, I had Where the Wild Things Are. I'm a little disappointed didn't make it on there. I also had A Single Man. And then it's just like whatever. Me and Orson Welles, Crazy Heart, and Julie and Julia. I mean, I'm not even sure those are like great screenplays or like they're like thumbs up movies, but I'm like, okay, whatever. I could put anything at the bottom of this list.
Zach?
Yeah, what I was going to say was what's kind of becoming apparent from this Pinot ceremony so far. I'm remembering that in 2009 I was broke. I was like really broke. So when I went to movies, it had to be a good movie. And so like a lot of these movies that you guys are mentioning, particularly what Adam is mentioning, with all due respect to Adam, I did not want to spend my precious $7.50 because that's what it cost at the time to go see that. So I have a lot of blinders on, but I think 2009 was the brokest I've ever been. My top 10 screenplays that year, I have Two Lovers, My Sister's Keeper, The Road. I think The Road's underrated. I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember liking it quite a bit. Departures, which I guess is an adapted screenplay. Bruno and Julia. Bruno, of course, being adapted from the Ollie G Show. I think I'm the only one here who likes Bruno. I think it's pretty funny, but I don't know how well it holds today.
I've seen Bruno.
I remember laughing at it at the time. I went with you'll appreciate this, Terry. I went with Rocky Esposito. Shout out!
Oh, yeah.
Watching. We saw it together in Seattle when we were working at Geek Camp, and I don't know if Rocky will deny this. We both quite enjoyed the movie.
Nice, that's awesome. All right, well there we go. Once again, best adapted screenplay nominees: District 9, An Education, Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Informant, Precious, based on the novel Pushed by Sapphire, and Up in the Air. On IMDb, that just listed as Precious now. It's not based on the novel Pushed by Sapphire anymore, but whatever.
But that was the way it was called at the Oscars.
That's the way it was called at the Oscars, so we're going with it. Moving on, our next category is our new category. We've added this category to our deep dives. It's been a popular one, so we had to bring it in here. It's the Matt Damon "What Movie Are You in" award.
Hold on. We don't talk about
we don't talk about Bruno. Thank you, Cassie.
Nicely done.
Cassie.
Well done.
One of the wives is watching this.
Silencio Bruno.
Terry gets a point.
Zach's not drinking, so he doesn't have the quips like that and going.
Yeah, exactly. So we love this category in our deep dives. It is the character that feels the most out of place in a movie. Of course, is in honor of Matt Damon and Oppenheimer. I was trying to think, when did, like, Matt Damon has had several of these roles where it's just like, what movie are you in? When did that start for Matt Damon? I was trying to figure this out.
Oppenheimer.
Eurotrip's not bad. I was thinking Interstellar. Like, when he popped up in Interstellar, I remember going, what the hell is Matt Damon doing here?
But he's also in like Chasing Amy for like a split second. I mean, he has these things where he doesn't care. He'll just like pop up in his friends' movies.
Yeah, but that's different though. That's different. Like when he's trying, there's moments in movies where he's like trying to be like a serious role in it, and you go, wait, why is Matt Damon here?
Field of Dreams.
It's Field of Dreams. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, he kind of owns this category, which is why it's named after him.
Exactly. So, let's go through this. Let's see who's going first on this one. And going first here is Adam.
All right. Trying to tabulate stats at the same time. Which is a lot of work. Okay. All righty. What are we doing again? Matt Damon. What movie are you in?
Matt
okay.
Damon. Yeah.
This is a tricky one here. I think I'm going to go with. I don't want to mention a movie that we've already named. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with Gene Simmons as Joe Adler in Extract. What movie are you in? He's like, we will settle this if you smash your balls in this door. We will drop the lawsuit. But Gene Simmons is a completely different movie of Extract, and it's great. So I'm going to go with Gene Simmons in Extract.
Okay. All right.
Don't remember that.
It's good. It's a good one.
I don't remember it either, but I haven't seen it. Next up is Zach.
Okay, I'm going to be a little literal on this category. I'm actually going with Matt Damon in honor of his namesake as the voice of the dad in Ponyo. Now, I do have to say a few things about Ponyo, which was assigned to me from Adam. I watched it today, and then there was a big news story that broke that I kind of fixated on for the last 4 hours. So I didn't see the end of the movie. But in the first 50 minutes, Matt Damon is the voice of the dad. Now, the dad is like, I don't know if he's a douchebag dad or not, but he is abandoning his family because he's out at sea, and he's much more interested in the sea life or preventing the tsunami or whatever than he is with his family. And all the American voices seem to flow okay. But then you hear Matt Damon as a seaman out at sea in the middle of Japan, and it's like, Matt Damon, what are you doing in this movie? So it literally happened to me today, and that's when I turned it off. So I don't know what happened to his character, but I guess we'll find out. Maybe, I don't know. I should watch it, I guess, finish the movie. This is why you don't leave stuff until the last minute when there's breaking news.
I feel like the other name for this category could be the Dan Aykroyd. What movie are you in? Because I didn't know Dan Aykroyd was in this picture. It just, it fits. Okay. Next is Todd.
All right. My choice is so it's a movie I hadn't thought of in a long time until I was just looking at my 09 list. But it's a performance that I remember thinking that exact same thing. Like, what movie are you in, Jason Bateman? When I was watching State of Play, like he shows up into this like really serious like political crime movie, and he thinks that he is in like a Scarface or something. Like, I mean, he has a different energy than everybody else. And at this time, he was Arrested Development, he was Juno. He didn't really have a whole lot to go on, but when he shows up in this movie, I'm just like, what the hell is that guy doing here? So Jason Bateman in State of Play, you're nominated.
I thought often about State of Play as we were going through this. All right, Cassie says so he should watch Ponyo with our kids. It'd keep him awake. Oh.
And attentive.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's true. But they'll give it away though. That's the problem. Is that they just start talking. Yeah, I thought a lot about State of Play going through this because I'm like, this is a movie I remember liking, but I don't really remember much about it. So like, I had to go back and like just watching the trailer kind of got, oh, that's right, that's what this movie's about. Anyways,
I haven't seen it.
It was good. Okay, I'm the last one here, and as I was thinking through, there was only one performance that I could think of, or the top performance. I have some others, but my top one that when you saw it, you're like, wait, like completely just took you out of the movie because this face popped up. It's Mike Myers in Inglourious Bastards. Like nothing takes you out of the movie quite like seeing Mike Myers pop up as a British intelligence officer. And like, I know you know that Tarantino put him in this movie for the sole reason that he could go, they call themselves the Bastards. Like, he could say bastards. Like, that's the only reason he's in the movie. So, yeah.
That's officially his second Pinot nomination. So just a heads up.
That's right, because he got nominated for the Love Guru.
I thought you were talking about Michael Myers getting nominated for Halloween 2. We have double nominee this year.
All right, so yeah, we've got Gene Simmons, Extract, Matt Damon, Ponyo, Jason Bateman, State of Play, Mike Myers, and Inglourious Bastards. We need a consensus.
Okay, I got Woody Harrelson as Charlie in 2012. He's just like cracked out of his mind. It's like he's like this end of the world guy, like going off transmitting.
So he's Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, he's Woody Harrelson. So he's completely in a different craziness.
He had a big year that year.
He did. I have Dr. Loomis, Malcolm McDowell's character in Halloween 2, because he is kind of a really big in that one. Matt Damon in Invictus. We could do that one. That's low hanging fruit.
He's good in Invictus.
Yeah, Jane Lynch and Julia as Dorothy, which is like Meryl Streep's sister in there. She has a completely different energy.
I don't even remember that character.
Yeah, and then of course how could we not mention Nicholas? We did Matt Damon before. we should bring back Nicolas Cage in this one as Speckles the Mole in G-Force. He's the only character doing an accent, and he plays a mole. So Nicolas Cage in G-Force.
I like it.
That's a good one.
The other ones I had Aubrey Plaza in Funny People. Mainly because that was the first time I'd ever seen her, and when I first watched it, I was like, "What? Like, I don't know what this girl's doing." Like, she does not like. She's a stand-up comedian, but now she's awesome. But like at the time, I was like, "Holy shit!" I also have Paul Giamatti in Rob Zombie's The Haunted World of El Superbeasto as Satan. So he's an animated movie. Definitely was one of those things. Anna Paquin in Trick or Treat, because I didn't know that she was in the movie, and I didn't know that she would be in a movie like that.
I didn't realize that was 20. That's a tough one because Trick or Treat, it was made in 1 year and came out. That's a tough.
A couple years
distribution
later.
rights. Yeah, there's some really good choices in Trick or Treat.
And I also wrote down Matt Damon in Invictus because he's a South African rugby player, and it's just like you couldn't have gotten a South African. I mean, you probably could have.
I think he sells it. All right, I have a couple here. I've got Kevin Spacey in The Men Who Stare at Goats is kind of out of place. Ryan Reynolds in X-Men Origins Wolverine, he is in a different movie than everything else that's going on there.
It's topical.
And it is topical. And I rewatched It's Complicated. Like, my favorite part of the movie might be John Krasinski, but he's in a different movie. And so I'm saying John Krasinski in It's Complicated has a potential to be on this list too. Zach, what did you have?
Yeah, I had. I nominated him for Pinot, but he's not. It's very Matt Damon. Colin Farrell in Crazy Heart. I'm not sure what he was doing in that. I also had someone from Funny People, but not Aubrey Plaza. I went with Eric Bana, mostly because he's not out there kicking ass for the Jews, but he's not bad in the movie. It's just kind of weird that he's in the movie. I had the rapper Exhibit as Big Fate in Bad Lieutenant Protocol New Orleans, but then I thought about that. I don't think anyone in that movie could be a Matt Damon What Movie Are You In? Because the whole movie is what movie is this? It's like Werner Herzog, what movie is this? Maybe Werner Herzog. How about Werner Herzog? The Iguana or Werner Herzog as the director of the Bad Lieutenant sequel with Nicolas Cage. So
yeah.
All right,
I don't know if we got anywhere with that.
No,
I don't know either.
I like Nicolas Cage in G-Force. I think that's a good one. I've never seen it, but I
Yeah.
like the idea of him as a voice of a.
It doesn't even
but,
sound like him either. It's like muffled.
Crazy. He's the best part of the movie.
But I
Either
think
that or the iguana.
The winner is Terry's pick. It has to be Mike Myers. Yeah, Terry's absolutely right, and I don't know how I didn't see it, but that's the clear winner.
Okay, so which one we're going Nicolas Cage in G-Force?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm good with that. All right, Nicolas Cage in G-Force, and the winner is Mike Myers for Inglourious
Mike
Basterds.
Myers, Pinot winner. Come get
The
your Pinot.
Bastards have picked up their first win.
What were the other nominees?
So the other nominees were Gene Simmons in Extract, Matt Damon in Ponyo, Jason Bateman, State of Play, Mike Myers in Glorious Bastards, Nicolas Cage, G-Force.
Yeah, that seems like our best group of debated nominees yet.
It's a good list. It's a good list. I like it.
A mole got nominated.
essentially.
A mole got nominated. It was the mole or the iguana. You pick which one.
And not the mole in Austin Powers.
The movie though.
Mole. Mole.
Mole, mole, mole.
The other
Yeah.
Mike Myers movie.
That was the other Mike Myers.
Wins.
Okay. So moving on from the Matt Damon, what movie are you in? It is now time for the most overrated movie of 2009. This could be a fun one. We'll see where this goes. Adam put Terminator Salvation on there, so we'll see if that makes an appearance. But the first one to talk on this one is going to be, hey, it's me. Okay.
Who's that?
It's let's see here. Yeah, it's time for me to piss off Adam. It's Watchmen. Watchmen is the most overrated movie of the year.
Is it overrated?
A
lot of people don't like it.
There's a lot of people that still love it just because it's Watchmen.
It's like the other good Zack Snyder movie.
Yeah, it's not good though. It's
It's
not
gonna be okay.
like I
Okay. Don't worry.
like I remember watching this movie in theaters
It's just a
and
3-hour
thinking,
cut. This is the best one.
what am I watching? Like the sex scene to Hallelujah. I'm like, what is going on? It's just. I tried rewatching it to be like, I got to give this movie a second shot.
You've
No,
never seen the ending?
no, I couldn't even get to the end. They're speaking Italian. No,
It was a great scene. Yeah.
yeah. All right, Watchmen. That's my submission for most overrated movie. All right,
Okay.
next one up is Adam. I'm sorry, Adam.
Payback,
That's it.
Adam. What are you gonna do to Terry now? Men who stare at goats?
Very overrated.
But it's not overrated because it sucks.
Everyone knows it sucks except for me.
What's on this list here? Inglorious Bastard? No, that's pretty high. No, that's not this. My softball team was called Inglorious Batters because of the movie. There we go. Fun fact.
Yep.
That's awesome.
We're gonna go with Paranormal Activity as overrated.
Zach's not gonna like that pick.
No,
Yeah,
that was
sorry, Zach.
That's a
That
4-star
isn't-
movie from
that isn't
Mr.
my-
Saltz.
it is top 5 of 2009 for me. I
Okay,
think it's one
so
of the great horror movies of all time.
I'm not a fan footage fan. Like, yes, Chronicle's great. Yes, Blair Witch Project is good. What else is there that is up there with found footage? Like, I don't find it like a great. It's cheap, and they made so many sequels after it, and especially when you have to do your advertising as audience footage, like the audience freaked out so much to sell your movie. In 2009, that was all the rage. They did that several times in 2009. So unfortunately, Paranormal Activity, while the first one might be really groundbreaking and pretty decent, it's kind of overrated, and they made a franchise out of it. So for me, it's where I'm going to go with it.
So you're saying it's overrated because it had a bunch of crappy sequels?
No, it's overrated because they sold it as the most terrifying movie you will ever see because of all the audience reactions from the advertising is what really made it pushed it over.
So you didn't like the
many-
publicity campaign. It's not the
Yeah,
movie.
when you go into it, you're like, what am I watching? Like, nothing's happening. And even when stuff did happen, it was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. Another
All
one.
right.
All right. Didn't see the ending?
Pick on the movie that was made for $15,000. Sure, go ahead.
Todd, you're next.
It's in the loop. There's a reason why I wasn't nominated for adapted screenplay. These movies are unwatchable. These Armando Iannucci movies, like The Death of Stalin and In the Loop, and whatever the other one was, the David Copperfield movie or whatever with Dev Patel. They're all bad. I mean, and this one, I've tried to watch it a couple of times. I honestly, I think I slept through it the first time, and I put a rating up for it. It's not good. In the Loop is not fun.
Yeah. Call that's on my list too.
All right. Zach, you're last.
All right, so Adam's going to pick on the $15,000 movie. I'm going to pick on the $350 billion movie or whatever. I'm going Avatar. I never understood the love
Avatar's
for
first nom.
Avatar. I don't think it's aged particularly well, even though it had a recent sequel that got an inexplicable Best Picture nomination. It's the movie. If Adam's going to blame Paranormal Activity for the rise of found footage movies, we can blame Avatar for the rise of 3D, which not
It's the best
a proud
3D
moment.
movie ever. Other than Jackass 3D, of course.
It's a tough this category. Yeah, that's true. Or the what's the what, Enter the Void, wasn't that in 3D? What's the Gaspar Noé 3D movie?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's definitely, I actually give thumbs up to Avatar. I could pick on a few movies that I really didn't like. I really don't like Adventureland, but I don't feel like picking on it because it's like, you know, it's a low budget indie movie. So screw you, Adam. That's just mean to pick on Paranormal Activity. I'm going to pick on the movie that was vastly, crazy budget and dominated the Oscars. Fortunately, did not win. But it's not a movie people talk about. It doesn't even have a Regal quote in it. I mean, come on. If it's the highest, grossing movie of all time, you're not even gonna have a Regal quote in it because it has a lame script. And
But it was in Babylon.
The theater experience was fine, but that's like, it doesn't necessarily translate to an awesome movie. So I'm going Avatar as supremely overrated.
All right, hold on. We got comments.
Oh, Cassie's commenting again. Did
Did
Zach
Zach-
watch Paranormal Activity in the
No, I was not.
upstairs of Hagen with all of us when I was there?
I was not.
I do
was living in
believe he was
Kansas.
gone by then, but it was much cheaper.
Creepier.
That's better. Creepier in the middle of a college campus at 11 o'clock at night. That's
Yeah,
fair.
I mean, I saw it in Lawrence, and that's when they were doing the barnstorming strategy of taking it to college towns, and it was the most terrifying theatrical experience of my life. So I can't entirely divorce that from how much I appreciate the movie. Although I will admit, watching it on a computer screen with things going on around you is probably not as scary. But in the theater, I mean, it was an unbelievable experience. So it's a very subjective rating, but it's definitely not overrated.
All right. Well, that's yeah. I got you.
Okay, so our overrated movies so far: Watchmen, Paranormal Activity, In the Loop, and Avatar. I love the time travel to 2009.
It was a good time in our country. It was a very optimistic time.
Should hit up Tim Travers for that.
Yeah. Sam Dunning.
All right, so we need a consensus pick. This is going to be interesting. The one I think we might be able to agree on is The Blind Side.
Yep.
I mean, it was a Best Picture nominee.
But no, it's
And
not
we all
actually
hate
a good movie, though. No one
I know,
really
it's
thinks
overrated.
a good movie.
But it's a Best Picture nominated movie
It's a
that's
Best
not
Picture
good.
nominee, and it won Best Actress. That's
That's a
I'm
good
throwing it out
choice.
there. What else does everybody else have?
I have The Blind Side, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatball. Because how the hell does that have a positive rating, like and critic rating and fan rating?
It got a
Rotten
sequel.
Tomatoes? And a sequel. The Hangover. Law Abiding Citizen. Don't know why people like that. I don't really like it at all. The Lovely Bones, another Oscar nominee, and then Up.
Okay.
What the hell is your problem?
Up,
It's
I am down
other
for
than
it.
the opening sequence of the movie. That's the whole thing. Once he
Adam-
starts doing the dog,
Adam
party,
has,
That's a bad thing.
Adam has completely redeemed himself. I completely agree with you, Adam. Let's get Up on there. I think Up is completely overrated.
I'm never signing
Hell
up for that. Okay, I have The Hangover. I agree with Adam on that. Like The Hangover is one of the worst movies of that year. The Last Station is also not a great movie. Isn't Giamatti in that? The Road I also think is overrated. Away We Go is garbage, and The Damned United, which was Tom Hooper movie. I did not like it. It's got like 95% of Rotten Tomatoes or some shit like that. Not great. It's like a soccer movie. But The Hangover, I agree with Adam.
Yeah, I don't agree with The Hangover. I did see The Road. I remember nothing about it, but it's in my bottom 3 of the year, so I could sign off.
Also,
Vigo,
agree
right?
there.
Vigo, yeah.
Might need to throw this one up to YouTube or something.
Zach, what do you got?
Is it between The Road and The Hangover? Or if it's Zach and the second?
Yeah, what does Zach have to say?
I have some movies that I gave mild thumbs up to. I just think they're overrated.
Had
Like I
Blind
think,
Side as well.
I think Star Trek is a little overrated. It's not a bad movie, but I don't think it's that great. An Education, I don't know why it got a lot of Oscar nominations. It's like fine, but not great.
It did not hold up. I watched it recently.
I don't think A Serious Man is great. Coen Brothers. I obviously don't think Where the Wild Things Are is great, but I know I'm going to get pushback on that. I don't think 500 Days of Summer is the greatest rom-com ever. And this was the real one that I'd stick with is Up in the Air. I don't know why that movie had a lot of the critical appeal that it did. I didn't like.
I rewatched it. It's still pretty good.
It's pretty good. It has the pyramid in it.
I thought it was very
Vegas.
formulaic. It's not a terrible movie. It's overrated.
I think the one thing we can all agree on, which I think needs to be our submission and our winner, The Blind Side sucks.
It's not overrated. No one likes it. Bo Burnham doesn't like it.
It did not age. Age has definitely put it in its place, but in 2009, like this movie made hundreds of millions. It won Best Actress. It was nominated for Best Picture. I think it was nominated for Best Picture because it was like the example of the oh crap, we have to nominate 10 of these. Let's throw The Blind Side in, but still, it got the nomination.
Is this going to be the first multiple Merlot winner?
Ooh, it might be. I think it's the only option because we're not gonna. None of us are gonna agree on anything else that was said. Like the only other thing I had written down for overrated, I think Funny People is somewhat overrated, but you guys aren't gonna agree with that.
I don't agree with that.
I don't remember.
Yeah, exactly. So And no one's seen In the Loop.
Yeah.
Zach's not going to agree with Paranormal Activity. Adam's not going to agree with Watchmen. I'm not going to agree with Avatar. But Blindside is the only one that we can say.
All right.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
All right. We'll pick that one and moving on.
John Lee Hancock, congratulations, multiple Merlots.
Up sucks though, Adam. I agree.
Up is an amazing movie.
We might need to come up with another thing to call it then. I mean, Merlot is perfect, but every time you say you want a Merlot, I'm like, oh, what? Who gets skipped? Because that's what we do in our power rankings.
Yeah, that's a thing too. That's not
throwing me off, man. Okay, let's go back to some stats from 2009 before we go on to the next category. Let's talk baseball season. Does anybody know what the World Series was in 2009?
New York Yankees and Phillies.
Gross.
Yankees over Phillies. Yes, Hideki Matsui was the World Series MVP.
Matsui.
I got Matsui. The AL MVP was Joe Mauer, just inducted into the Hall of Fame today. Yeah. NL MVP Albert Pujols. Number 1 pick in the MLB draft that year was Steven Strasburg, which means 15 years ago the Mariners drafted Dustin Ackley. Let's see here.
The hitter.
In 2009, Citi Field opened for the Mets. The new Yankee Stadium opened. Target Field opened for the Twins. Gary Sheffield hit his 500th home run. Randy Johnson had his 300th win. The AL Cy Young was Zach Greinke. NL Cy Young was Tim Lincecum. And these
Greinke
rookies
beat out Felix.
Yeah, I think it was the year he beat out Felix. And AL Rookie of the Year, Andrew Bailey, who's now a pitching coach. NL Rookie of the Year, Chris Coughlin. So those aged well. So there's another little little peek into
keep doing those going forward there. Keep doing those.
Yeah, I've got some more. It's good stuff. Okay, but right now it is time to go back to our categories, and it is time to reveal the best original screenplay. Best original screenplay.
The Hangover was adapted from Memento, though, right?
I don't know.
All right, here we go. Best original screenplay. The nominees are Big Fan.
Yes.
Wow, yes.
Yes, we did it.
Funny People. The Hurt Locker. Inglorious Bastards. The Messenger. And Up.
Well, we know 2 people that did not nominate Up.
No, I nominated it. Don't worry, I did.
And you had it overrated?
Well, I can still think it's overrated. It's not the best Pixar movie that's out there. People think it's the best.
I think those things are mutually exclusive when you're talking about 1 year. Okay, well, this is a great group. This is the Todd category. I'm officially naming it that. I love this group of nominees. Thank you, everybody. We did it. We got Big Fan in there.
Big Fan got in. All right. Well, Todd, first, Zach, Adam, any other thoughts on this category other than Up getting in?
Big Fan. I did not nominate, but I should have. That's a great pick. Right when that came up, I was like, oh, duh. That's clearly a great screenplay. And Funny People. I need to revisit that one, so I'm glad I have to revisit The Informant and Funny People. But yeah, the other, I can't argue. I voted for the other 4. So,
Zach.
Oh, 2 of them belong here. The other 4, I'm not sure what they're doing here. I like Funny People though, but give me a break. But there's Oscar 2 that are very good.
Yeah. Well, the Oscar 5 that year were The Hurt Locker, Up, The Messenger, Inglorious Bastards, and A Serious Man. There's another one where 4 of the 5 made it into our list. So,
since adapted was so weak, this is the heavier category.
Yeah, and we've got these categories where we had a lot of overlap with the Oscars. Okay, well, Zach, what else did you have on your list?
I nominated The White Ribbon. So now, see, this was a Todd list, so we're going to hear the Zach list. This is very Zach picks. The White Ribbon, About Ellie, Sin Nombre, Goodbye Solo, Sugar, Away We Go, and Extract. Very, very Zach list.
That is a Zach list. It is. My list, the ones that weren't on there, I had Zombieland, 500 Days of Summer, Away We Go, Avatar, and of course, It's Complicated.
Of course.
Adam.
Adventureland, 500 Days of Summer, A Serious Man, Extract, and Bad Lieutenant. Is that adapted or is that original? Because if I fucked that up, oh, sorry, oh my bad. Timestamp that.
I think it's probably adapted. I didn't.
How did
it's got to be original? I think, right?
How did Big Fan get in over Extract? If that was on 2 of our lists, who else had Big Fan?
Todd and Terry.
Well, you'll have to tune into the
breakdown.
debrief to find
You
out.
had it on your list, Terry?
Breakdown. I'm not saying that.
Well, then how else could it have been nominated?
There are. I'll throw this out there. There were no 13th district nominees
Paris 13th
this year.
district.
Paris 13th district nominees, where only one person had it on a list. So somebody, every nominee had more than one movie on.
So Adam just doesn't remember.
I was trying to do the Jackie Earle Haley, trying to get him into supporting by having my top 3 being kind of crazy, but I'm glad that Todd did the Sleepy Shimmy pick. Just throwing that out there. So,
all right. Well, Todd, what else did you have on your list?
I had Sleep Dealer, which again, great movie. Nobody's seen it. 500 Days of Summer, of course. World's Greatest Dad.
Oh, that's kind of shocking that missed.
Yeah, because I'm the first one that mentioned it, and I said like weeks ago that I thought
that should be there.
Bobcat was going to get a Pino nomination. Maybe you will for director and Adventureland. I rewatched that recently.
It's so good.
It's still awesome.
Definitely one of the
best fireworks scenes. In
Martin
movies.
Starr should have got Pino nominated for this minor character.
All right. Well,
loser.
To recap one more time, best original screenplay nominees: Big Fan, Funny People, The Hurt Locker, Inglourious Bastards, The Messenger, and Up. Again, tune in 2 weeks on the podcast, and we'll talk about the winners of these categories and the other categories. So, next up, it is now time for the Tripod of Depravity. One of our favorite moments of the entire podcast whenever we do these deep dives. We have 3 categories that just talk about the worst of the worst type characters in all of movies. And so the first one up is the Sick Man of the Year. And I think we need to remember the rules. So our tripod is Stick Man, Douchebag, and Most Punchable Face. You cannot nominate a character for more than one of them. So if you're nominated in Stick Man, you can't be nominated for Douchebag or Punchable Face. So just keep that in mind. They can only be nominated for one. Got to spread the wealth a little bit. We decided that after, I think it was Nicholas Hoult in The Menu got nominated in all 3. So after that, we were like, no.
Well, 2 of the 3. But
I'm glad you remember that.
Douchebag and Stickman, that's what he got nominated. Or no,
so we're starting
face.
Starting with Stickman, and to start this one out, it is going to Adam.
Damn it. Okay. This whole randomizer thing that's throwing
seems to like the letter A a lot.
It does. Because I have a really funny one. I don't actually think it's nomination worthy, but
just go with it.
No, because no one's seen it. It's funny, but no one's seen it. Okay, we're gonna go with Mike Connell, Ryan Reynolds' character in Adventureland.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, so that's who we're gonna go with. Adventureland's gonna need to get a nom. Ryan Reynolds is probably gonna get nominated next year for actor too. But yeah, he's great in this movie. Really awesome. He's clearly the player. He has all the girls wrapped around his finger here. Has the affair with Kristen Stewart's character in it. Obviously, he's married too, but he still continues his escapades. He thinks he's in a band. He fixes all the equipment. He sees all the ladies. So Mike Connell, Ryan Reynolds, Adventureland. You've been nominated.
All right. So we got Adventureland up there. Ryan Reynolds, always good to have on there. Zach, you're next.
I'm going to go with our wonderful movie. It's been not discussed a little bit, Extract, and I'm going with Dustin Mulligan as the character of Brad Chavez.
Yeah, I had that on my list too.
Yeah. Extract.
He is some sort of male prostitute, pool boy who is hired by Jason Bateman and Pinot-nominated Ben Affleck to seduce Jason Bateman's wife, played by Kristen Wiig. And not only does he seduce her, and not only does he perform admirably, some serious cockmannery that even Michael Rappaport would be down with that. But he actually falls in love with Kristen Wiig, because who wouldn't? So it's a great performance, and he's, I think, pretty clearly the biggest stick man of the year.
You paid for them 15 times. 15 times?
I think he did it for free a few times.
He did it for free, yeah.
All right, I'm next. My pick is it's time to finally get this movie its first nomination. Andy Samberg in I Love You Man is my
that's
pick.
A good call. He hits. Yeah, that's a good call. I love it.
He's
Robbie.
He's the rare gay stick man. He's the
Brother.
fitness instructor and the brother to Paul Rudd, and he gets whatever he wants. Let's just put it that way. So Andy Samberg, I Love You Man. That's my pick.
It's a great pick so far.
This is a pretty good list. This is a pretty good list.
Best
All right,
list so far. Best list.
Todd, bring it home.
All right, my pick it comes from the movie Spread, which is I didn't realize this back when I watched it. Directed by David Mackenzie, I believe Oscar nominee for directing Hell or High Water, and written by the writer of American Sniper. But the stick man is Ashton Kutcher's character of Nicky. Now, he is like this unofficial gigolo type who he is like the side piece for like all these like rich women, so he gets to like live in their place and like get the benefits of being rich, even though he's not. He just is like this poor guy who like is like super charming and stuff, and gets and beds all these women, including Anne Heche and a bunch of other people. It's actually a really good movie. It's got terrible reviews, but I like the movie. He is the epitome of a stick man because he's not even a gigolo. He doesn't even have to be because he's that good. So Ashton Kutcher, there you go.
All right.
His first Pinot nomination.
So we've got Ryan Reynolds, Adventureland, Dustin Mulligan for Extract, Andy Samberg for I Love You Man, Ashton Kutcher for Spread. There's some great actors in there. So what else? We got to come up with a consensus pick here. I think it's fair to say Alec Baldwin, and It's Complicated. It was like the title card, but that's a good one. Two others I'll throw out there though. Chris Pine as Captain Kirk in Star Trek. That's a fairly good one. And the last one I think we need to consider. Daniel Day-Lewis as Guido in 9, because the whole movie is about the 9 women that have fallen in love with him.
That's a good call.
So,
has he got nominated yet, Daniel Day-Lewis?
He hasn't made a movie since 2017.
Yeah. And he didn't have a 2008 movie, so.
Oh yeah, not bad.
But yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis in 9. I wanna just throw out there as consideration.
I got some interesting.
What else you guys got?
I got some interesting. So the movie 17 again. We could technically bend the rules. We could have a stick man and a punchable face with Matthew Perry and Zac Efron going back and forth there. We could technically have that. Who knows?
Still never seen it except for the first 2 minutes when we thought it was Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Well done, Todd.
Salvador and Couples Retreat. We got Jeremy.
I had that on my list too. Thank you, Adam. That was a great pick.
Yeah. See. We got Jeremy Piven in The Goods, Live Hard, Sell Hard, Live Hard, or whatever that's called. Live Hard, Sell Hard.
No,
whatever. That's horrible. Sydney Fife in
I want to know what happened.
I Love You Man, Jason Segel's
Actually,
character.
I
Love You Man. We have the Bear Jew again showing up because we had the Maestro thing with Nick Diaz the bat.
Going yacht on that one.
Alec Baldwin, RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. getting back-to-back years with Stickman, with Iron Man, and Sherlock Holmes here. We have Sugar from the movie Sugar. He's a Stickman definitely there. We have Gerard Butler in The Ugly Truth. We have Billy Crudup in Watchmen. But the two I want to point out here, Taylor Lautner in New Moon. Clearly, in the theater watching this with a significant other at the time, he takes off his shirt for the first time. The ladies behind me said, God, she's lucky. The guys in front of me said the same exact thing. Oh man, he's so lucky. The same right when he takes it, the audience was salivating over this guy. So Taylor Lautner could be a stick man, but then also we have to look back at B movies. There's a movie called Thanksgiving with a turkey that gets it on. He even has a mashed potato flavored condom that he has on, and he's so well endowed that the lady that he has sex with thinks it's a guy, not a turkey. So, and then murders the lady after he gets his rocks off. So, Thanksgiving is what I would like to throw out there, but even though no one's seen it. So, there we go.
This is why we need to have audio from Adam when we're predicting his power rankings.
Okay.
I like it. All right. What else we got?
We can try to make that happen.
I had down Sasha Grey in The Girlfriend Experience. I think we're ignoring a powerhouse performance there, no matter what the erotic connoisseur might say. And then Tiger Woods. I mean, come on. In 2009, getting into car crashes, that's formidable.
All right, the only other one, I had Salvador from Couples Retreat, Brad from Extract, and Mike from Adventureland. The only other one I had down was Quantrell Bishop from Big Fan, because he's like the Weekend in Uncut Gems of that movie. Like, he's at the party, he's got all the women, he ends up getting assaulted by Patton Oswalt, but he definitely is a stick man because he's a professional football player.
Yeah, it was Roxy.
All right. We got a lot of stuff out there. I still think Daniel Day-Lewis in 9 might be our best bet. Like, the movie is entitled.
Yeah, never seen it.
You guys have never seen 9?
It's a remake of 8.5.
It's a remake of 8.5. Yeah. It's a musical version of 8.5. It's not a great movie, but it's a movie about the women that he's loved and have loved him. And it's named 9 for a reason. So, I don't know.
I'd sign off on that.
But they haven't seen it, so. What else are we thinking?
Is there anything we all have seen?
It's complicated. Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. I think he has some performance issues in that movie. He has to take pills, right? I think that's part of the problem.
He doesn't have performance issues. He has fertility. He has fertility issues. It's not performance. It's just, his bride that's 30 years younger than him wants a baby.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, you could go to Daniel Day-Lewis. I don't think he's going to be the winner. I think this is one of the rare award categories that he's not going to be very competitive in. Yeah. I think the other 4 are much stronger.
Let's do it.
Daniel Day-Lewis, 9. Okay.
Daniel Day-Lewis for 9. 9's first nomination.
9's also overrated. Why did anyone even see
both
that movie?
9? Both.
Yeah, the other 9.
Oh, the animated 9. It was pretty good. Just
I haven't seen
it
either.
existed.
So. Yeah.
Okay. So we got Ryan Reynolds, Adventureland, Dustin Mulligan, Extract, Andy Samberg, I Love You Man, Ashton Kutcher for Spread, Daniel Day-Lewis for 9. The only ones I've seen are I Love You Man and 9, but if you guys are all consensus on one of them, we'll go with it.
I like Extract because we have the actual confirmed hits that he's got. He's got 15 confirmed hits.
Yeah, that was my number 3 overall choice. I would totally sign off on that being the winner. Because I don't think anyone else has seen Spread, right?
No.
Because I feel like someone would have chirped in because that I think that's actually a good movie.
It makes me want to see it now because that poster is awesome. He's in a swimming pool, with his arms back. It looks good.
Yeah, sort of like the Hung or whatever, that HBO show, something like that.
Dustin Mulligan, you know where he's from? Pinot Award winner.
Kansas City.
He's from Yellowknife, Northwest Territories.
Oh, wow.
There we go. Are we doing Extract?
Pride.
Sounds like we're doing Extract.
Yes. Dustin Mulligan.
Right.
Yep. Come accept your award. Wherever you are.
Extract, Pinot winner. All right, moving on.
That's Zach's first win. Good job, Zach.
To the second leg of the tripod of Biggest Douchebag. Biggest Douchebag here. And for this, we go to Todd first.
All right. Well, There are a lot of great douchebags from '09. Only one of them was my number one douchebag of all time when we did that power rankings. I think it might be our first like autobiographical douchebag. Tucker Max from I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell is my choice. It was my number one of all time douchebag. He still is. I mean, if you know anything about Tucker Max, you would sign off on this, be like, yep, that's the winner. Boom. End of story. Tucker Max.
What's the
Mark
movie
it
called?
down.
I
I
think
hope they serve beer in hell.
I think he took his life's inspiration from Tom Cruise and Magnolia as Frank T.J. Mackey. Like, that's where he got his idea for his career. That's a good pick. Now, I haven't seen the movie though. The movie was not.
But you know of Tucker Max, obviously.
I know of Tucker Max.
All right. Next up is. Oh, it's me. I'm next up. Okay. Biggest douchebag. Got some good ones here. All right. No, I got to go with it. All right. My biggest douchebag. I'm going with Daryl Sabara, who plays the son in World's Greatest Dad.
Oh, that's a good pick.
That's my biggest douchebag.
He's pretty awful in that movie. That's a good one.
Yeah, it
might be more punchable face than douchebag though, because I don't know, like when you're a teenager but you're like precocious, like maybe he just needs to have it slapped out of him, or choked out of him.
It choked out of him. I mean, it literally was choked out of him. So yeah, I'm going like the whole fact. The whole fact. The existence of the movie is like the father trying to make up for the fact that his kid was a douchebag. So I had to pick him.
Kids,
okay.
I don't know. Can kids be douchebag? Well, Max Records was a douchebag, but I think there's probably a good case for him being a douchebag.
Adam, you're next.
Uncle Douchebag.
Ah, damn.
That's a new name.
I have two good ones here.
We're
gonna go. What?
Uncle douchebag.
Uncle
Frank, Uncle Jack, Uncle everything.
We're gonna
Isn't
go
every
with,
uncle character douchebag?
We're gonna say Philadelphia Phil from Big Fan, Michael Rappaport.
Yes, great call.
It's Michael Rappaport. The Rappaport is on Philadelphia Phil. He calls just to mess with Giants fans. So douchebag.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, when you actually see him, you're just like, okay, yep.
I really like Michael Rappaport, so seeing him get nominated, awesome. I think he would appreciate the nominations, quite frankly.
He probably would. We probably could get him on the podcast.
We probably could. I know he has a cameo too. So there we go. If they still do that thing, anyway.
Zach,
I'm going Strollers in Away We Go.
Strollers, yes.
I know Todd will like that pick, but yes, Strollers are the real pain. I think that Maggie Gyllenhaal says they're the three S's that they hate. They hate sugar. They hate I don't know, steroids. I don't know, and then strollers.
You said you were going to go with Sam Mendes' scarf.
Sam Mendes is up there, biggest douchebag. His scarf is up there, but I think strollers are bigger douchebags.
I love the. It's on a mountain, but I like it.
Some people would use strollers to go up a mountain, but not Maggie Gyllenhaal. She was my number 3 supporting actress.
I love my babies. Why would I want to push them away?
Exactly. See, Terry understands. Okay, Todd, can you at least admit? No, you hate Maggie Gyllenhaal in that movie. You specifically called her out. I will admit it's not a great movie, but that scene's funny. That scene with the strollers is very, very funny. It's a very good scene that works quite well.
I vaguely remember it.
Okay, so we have Tucker Max and I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell, Daryl Sabara in World's Greatest Dad, Michael Rappaport in Big Fan, and Strollers in Away We Go.
Tucker Max is not the actual actor.
Oh, what's the actual actor?
That would be something you'd have to look him up. Not a very well known.
Todd's looking
got it.
It's somebody who I had seen him before. Matt
Zurchi.
Zurchi.
Matt.
Very career
CZUCHRY.
Okay, we'll go with that. All right. I probably spelled it wrong, but we'll I'll fix it later. We're live. Just letting you know we're live. All right. Consensus ideas. What do we got?
All right, I'll go. Giovanni Ribisi in Avatar. Jon Favreau in Couples Retreat. Jeremy Piven in The Goods. Live Hard, Sell Hard. Dr. Loomis in Halloween 2. Bradley Cooper, and He's Just Not That Into You. Tevin from I Love You Man, because he has urinal cakes with his face on them. I think I pissed on him in the Binnigans. It's a great line there. John Connor, Christian Bale in Terminator Salvation, and that's what Matthew Good from Watchmen. So that's my ideas, but that's what.
Okay, so what's funny is I had Jon Favreau for I Love You Man, because he's a douchebag in that movie.
He's in that movie.
Yeah, he's Jamie Lee Presley's husband.
He gets puked on the face. That's right. Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah. And I had Bradley Cooper for The Hangover.
Not bad.
So I have that, and then Jeremy Renner in The Hurt Locker is kind of a douchebag, and I had an Avatar character, but I had Stephen Lang. He's kind of a douchebag.
Yeah,
not bad.
That's what I had. Anybody else?
All right. I had Charles Muntz in Up.
Yes.
Like basically the Wizard of Oz character in that movie. Detective Harrison, which is the Ray Liotta character in Observe and Report. He's obviously a douchebag. He's a Ray Liotta character. He's a douchebag. Caleb Sinclair, which is the Adam Scott character in The Vicious Kind. Just shout out. It's a great movie. And Steven, which is, I believe, what's his face? Dylan Baker character in Trick or Treat. He was like a child killer dude. So
yeah, that's where he would have been nominated. Even he would have been nominated for supporting actor. Honestly, he's so good in that movie.
Zach,
I had Peter Sarsgaard in Education. The Colonel in Avatar. I don't remember who that.
That's Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
I signed off on that one too.
That's a good one.
Eric Bana in Funny People. Basically every character in Away We Go, possibly including the protagonists. And I don't know what to do with Hans Landa in this category. I mean, I think he's maybe in the Mount Rushmore of all time conversations for douchebag.
It's a bingo.
But he's going to win supporting actor. So do we really want to, let's maybe have some more variety here. But I think he at least deserves some mentioning in this category.
We nominated we did like that Rory Kinnear guy 3 times one year. So like it's why are we holding back?
What about also Sacha Baron Cohen and Bruno?
There we go. I can sign
we can get behind that.
So it sounds like we all sign off on Stephen Lang and Avatar.
Yeah, I like that.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we all mentioned him, so let's go with Stephen Lang and Avatar.
All right.
Avatar's first nomination.
Okay, so we've got Tucker Max, Matt.
That's not true. I nominated for overrated movie.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, that's right. Second time.
Daryl Sabara, World's Greatest Dad. Michael Rappaport, big fan. Strollers, away we go. Stephen Lang and Avatar. I vote for either Michael Rappaport or Strollers.
I agree. I think it's one of those two.
I vote for Michael Rappaport or Tucker Max.
Adam?
Well, we already have 2. I haven't seen the Tucker Max one, so
Rappaport.
Yeah, Michael. Let's just do Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport, come on the podcast.
Got to win.
We named a category after him.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, time for the last leg of the tripod, which is the most punchable.
It's a good picture.
It's a great picture. Jason Bateman. Already Pinot nominated Jason Bateman. All right. Most punchable face, and for this we go Todd first.
Cassie was on Strollers.
Cassie was wanting Strollers. She was on board for that. All right. Todd. Robert Forster Memorial Most Punchable Face Award. What do you got?
Okay. There was a documentary that came out called Sonic's Gate, and Clayton Bennett, the former owner of the Sonics, now Oklahoma City Thunder, that jackass took the team away from Seattle. He, I would have nominated him for douchebag too, but I can only do one. I would rather punch him than name him a douchebag. Clayton Bennett.
Why are we even doing this
the
category?
relocation committee. Thank you, David Stern. Yes, Clay Bennett. Yeah, you're
because he not only took the
2009.
Sonics away, but he made sure that we didn't get another team.
Yes, because him and
now-
David Stern had a thing.
And now the NBA is getting ready to expand. And in the back of my head, I'm like, yes,
They're going to screw us over again. Yes,
everyone's kind of figuring it's going to be Seattle and Las Vegas, but Clay Bennett is still around.
Yes.
And
well, see, I always thought as long as David Stern was alive that we wouldn't get a team. He's not alive anymore, so there might be enough there. I don't know.
well, like getting taking it. Or no, what was it? What was his last move? I think it's like one of his last big moves was taking a team away from Seattle. So, that's a good call.
Thank you.
Good call. All
I
right,
like that one.
Adam, you're next.
Man.
Isn't Clay
what?
Bennett also the name of Tommy Lee Jones's character in JFK? Like, I think we could tie him back to the Kennedy assassination too.
I
like it.
That. I like it. All right, Adam.
And I have I kind of want to just get this lady nominated because we have an award named after her for the Beth Grant Award. But at the same time, it's like, do we really want to do waste a pick here just because to get Beth Grant a nomination for Extract? I'm not sure that's what we want to do. So I will say that Mr. Chow in The Hangover is definitely the most punchable face of 2009. Toodaloo!
That's a good one.
Hello, gay boys.
He's not
Ken
great.
Jeong. Ken Jeong. The Hangover.
It's a good one. That is a good one.
Ken Jeong might always be in the running for punchable face, though. I mean, that's almost low hanging.
Along with Clark Duke. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good call. That is a good call.
Hot Tub.
All right, Zach.
Hot Tub Time Machine. Looking at you next year.
All
Zach,
right.
you're next.
I'm nominating from Adam's favorite overrated movie of 2009, Mika from Paranormal Activity.
Wow.
Mika Sloat. He is obsessed with his tech gear. He tries to provoke the demon spirit. He uses a Ouija board. He thinks he is much more powerful than the demon. And his face doesn't get slapped, but he does get thrown at the camera at the end. I guess that's a spoiler alert. But he's pretty punchable throughout most of the movie. If I were Katie, I would definitely break up with him and slap him simultaneously.
Isn't
He's
it
the
pronounced
reason.
Micah?
No, it's Mika.
Micah? Okay, my bad.
I watched the movie. I watched the movie 12 hours ago. Okay, it's Mika.
All right.
So yes,
It's
Mika
spelled
gets the
Micah.
nomination. It is spelled Micah. It makes it even more douchey. Is that the name is or punchable? That his name is harder to pronounce.
Touche. Okay, I got you. Touche.
All right. Well, last one is me, and I'm gonna pick something that Adam shouted out under douchebag, but I saved it for punchable face because I think if you pee on his face, he's a punchable face. So I'm going Rob Hubel as Tevin in I Love You Man. He's the overly tanned orange real estate agent that works in the cubicle next to Paul Rudd in I Love
Let's
You Man.
split the commish.
Yeah, I think I peed on his face in a Bennigan's, exactly. So Rob Hubel in as Tevin. His name is Tevin. I mean,
It's not Tevin. It's not Devin. It's Tevin.
Has there ever been a more punchable name than Tevin?
I Love You
I
Man
know a lot of
getting
Tevins.
some respect at this award ceremony. My big problem with I Love You Man is I thought Paul Rudd and the other guy should have flipped roles. Jason Segel. That would have been a funnier movie, I think. Jason Segel playing it straight, Paul Rudd playing the slob.
All right, so we've got Clay Bennett for Sonic's Gate. We've got Ken Jeong for The Hangover. We got Mika Sloat for Paranormal Activity, and we got Rob Hubel and I Love You Man. I only had one other thing written down, and it was Matt Damon in The Informant. If you rewatch that movie, he has a very punchable face.
Yeah, that's a good one. Well, we saw his face on a few moments ago, which looked very punchable.
On two slides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or I also had Bruno in Bruno, punchable.
But we
Mark
can't talk
Taylor
about him.
Jackson in Funny People, which is Jason Schwartzman. Pretty much kind of out of respect for Jason Schwartzman. He's punchable, and his character is a douche. Andrew Paxton in The Proposal. That's of course Ryan Reynolds, and Nikolai Wolf in Jennifer's Body. That is the character played by was it Johnny Simmons?
Oh wait, Johnny Simmons. Yeah, that's right. Okay,
Yeah,
it's a good one. Jennifer's Body.
Yes, Jennifer's Body hasn't been mentioned yet, so
it's a good one. Diablo Cody.
Young Neil.
Yeah, it's Johnny Simmons, the Phenom.
Actually, no, it is Adam Brody. I guess I wrote down the wrong character. It was
it's Adam Brody. He's the
Chip Dove. Chip Dove is who I meant to say. But
you know what?
Put them both down. Adam Brody is punchable too.
Adam Brody, lead singer of Low Shoulder for Jennifer's Body's band. Yeah, Low Shoulder, band name.
All right, what else we got?
I got Beth Grant for Extract, David Koichner for Extract as well. He was the neighbor Nathan. Always would whatever that guy. Chip, whatever that guy's name for Anchorman. Chip, yeah. He's the guy that would never leave
Packer.
Yeah, Packard, yeah. Michael Stasic for Fast and Furious. He's Shea Wingham's character. Alan from The Hangover. Whatever. Mudflap and Skids from Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. Those are the two racist droids that totally are stereotypes. And Wade Wilson, Ryan Reynolds in X-Men Origins.
Also, which is the car that Shia LaBeouf kicks the shit out of in that movie? That's a good one. Yeah, the yellow car.
I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah. Revenge of the Fallen.
Zach, what else did you have?
I had the old Iowans in Sugar. Basically, the whole state of Iowa in that movie. They're pretty punchable. They're all white evangelicals that don't even attempt to speak Spanish to Miguel. But the old white people in particular, they get on his case when he has a bad game. Oh, you lost your curveball there. It's very punchable. And then I also had Cameron Diaz for My Sister's Keeper. I mean, listen, you're going to, first of all, have a kid to harvest organs so you can have your other kid live, and then tell the kid who's dying that she can't go to a prom dance with her date? Come on, man.
Ooh, I forget the whole plot of that movie.
It's a good movie. I had it in my top 25.
Interesting. I like the Sugar pick. I like that.
The whole state of Iowa. They suck. Although they have a beautiful
nominated a state before. We nominated a soccer team and a family, but have we did a state before?
We've nominated
everyone in Iowa sucks. They're terrible. Not as bad as Missouri or Oklahoma, but Iowa's up.
Jason Schwartzman, I think it needs to be the pick.
Schwartzman's not bad too.
He's not that unlikable in that movie. He's Yo Teach. Everyone loves Yo Teach.
Nobody loves Yo Teach.
Yo Teach.
Punch Teacher? No, that was a different movie.
I say we go Iowa.
I'm good with Iowa.
Iowa. Sugar
State of Iowa.
The state of Iowa in Sugar.
Sugar needs to
nominated. Okay. So we've got Clay Bennett, Sonic Skate, Ken Jeong, The Hangover, Mika Sloat in Paranormal Activity, Rob Hubel in I Love You Man, and the state of Iowa in
Let's
Sugar.
go Clay Bennett.
I'm going with Clay Bennett or Ken Jeong.
Jury is a little biased, but I think there's validity.
Clay Bennett.
Let's throw in the Can we throw in the state of Oklahoma too? Can we have it a tie?
Yeah. Is that the first winner that's not a movie?
No, it is a movie.
It's a movie.
It's Sonic Skate.
It's a movie?
It's a documentary, Sonic Skate, about how.
Then I need to watch.
I got assigned it once from Todd.
Yeah.
I still haven't watched it. I need to watch this movie.
Well, obviously, I haven't watched it either. That's Todd's second win, I think.
All right. Well, there we go. Congratulations, Sonic Skate and Clay Bennett, for all of us wanting to punch you in the face. Okay. Well, it's perfect timing then to look at the NBA in 2009, the first Sonics-less season to the 08-09 season. The 2009 NBA Finals was who over who?
So the Mavericks?
No, Lakers and Magic.
Lakers over Magic is correct.
Dwight Howard.
The number one draft pick in 2009 was
Ron Paul.
Ron Paul.
I don't know.
Nominee.
I do have a stat about Chris Paul. Chris Paul set a record in 2009 for 105 straight games with a steal.
Ooh, that's a good stat.
Was it Derrick Rose?
Derrick Rose
that was
was
the year
the
before,
2008 number 1 draft
Okay.
pick and won Rookie of the Year that year.
That's a good guess.
2009. Here's your hint. 2009 number 1 draft pick didn't play the next season.
Oh, Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin.
Oh, Clippers.
Yep. MVP in 2009 was LeBron.
Kobe. Oh, LeBron.
LeBron. Defensive Player of the Year was already mentioned. Dwight Howard. Rookie of the Year, Derrick Rose. Sixth Man of the Year. Anybody want to take a stab at Sixth Man of the Year in 2009? He's one of those guys I feel like won it 5 times.
Derek Fisher.
Jason Terry.
Ooh,
Jason Terry.
The Jet.
And the scoring leader in 2009. I didn't realize this guy's scoring ever got that high. Dwayne Wade was the scoring leader in 2009. So
I don't
there's
know basketball.
I noticed.
Thanks.
Yeah, with Ron Paul.
All right.
Who drafted him?
It's now time for Best Actress.
Blindside has been mentioned many times in this. Way more.
Merlot winner right there.
Merlot, 2-time Merlot winner.
Oh, we got into the point of the
Blindside.
ceremony where Adam's checking his mail.
Well,
What do you got?
What is he checking out her shoes? What is he doing in that picture?
It looks like he might be.
Oh shit!
Adam is like furiously ripping into something right now, and we can hear every rip. What just came in?
Red Rocket.
Red Rocket.
This is my Prime Day deal. Possessor. Shout out to my daughter who's in the recovering right now. We got Trolls triple pack.
Nice.
Triple pack of Trolls.
Hell yeah. We got. Oh yeah, there we go. Top 10 of the year. Iron Claw. Oh. And the first time Saint Maud. I haven't watched this yet.
Nice.
Which
Rose
means
Glass.
that my movie of Marina did not come in yet. So there we go. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
That's okay. We had to.
Zach's done that a couple times. I know that, so it's okay.
All right. Anyway, so the winner of Best Actress was Sandra Bullock for The Blind Side. Will she be nominated at the Pinos for a movie that has been twice nominated or twice winning Merlots? We shall see.
She won the Oscar
nominees.
and the Razzie that year, by the way.
Yeah,
all
she did.
about
That's right.
speed.
And accepted both in person. All right, so the nominees for Best Actress at the 2009
horrible
Pinos
Photoshop.
are Abby Cornish for
Whoa,
Bright.
wow.
Definitely not me. That's a Todd and Terry.
Arta Dobroshi for Lorna's
That's a Todd.
Silence.
That's the one Dardenne Brothers movie I don't even like.
Sasha Grey for
Somebody
The
else liked
Girlfriend
it.
Experience. Carrie Mulligan for An Education. Maya Rudolph for Away We Go. And
Are you kidding?
Gabourey Sidibe for Precious, based on a novel pushed by Sapphire. There's
Wow,
your-
this
there's
is
your
the
list.
total one that was not Oscar. Wow.
There was 2 overlaps with Oscar, Carrie Mulligan and Gabourey Sidibe. The other Oscar nominees were Sandra Bullock for The Blind Side, Meryl Streep for Julie and Julia, and Helen Mirren for The Last Station.
So, did you throw in the Lorna's Silence pick, Terry, because you thought I liked that movie? Because I didn't nominate her.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Oh,
Oh, I did.
number 8.
You're the
I
only
don't-
other one that's seen it, I'm pretty sure.
Well, okay, never mind. I guess it was just out of respect. I don't like
So-
Lorna's Silence. It's the worst Dardenne Brothers movie. But I think maybe it was just a weak year. I don't know.
Anyways, so
This
there we
is
go.
Pretty stacked here.
I just watched Bright Star. She's pretty good in that one.
Yeah,
And you didn't nominate her?
I did not nominate her, but she's really good in it.
I didn't
Well,
nominate her either, but she's better than Lorna's Silence lady.
Never heard of that movie, so I guess gotta watch that.
I'm so glad you
Adam's
thought about this so much, Zach.
It's not that good.
Adam, what else
Silence
did you?
is an amazing movie, and it actually has a plot for the first time. That's probably
That's
why I
don't
like
like
it.
it. Yeah,
That's
the
why.
plot-
That's why Zach doesn't like it.
Get the Polish mob involved. Come on, Dardenne brothers. That's the Matt Damon "What movie are you making" award. Why were they making a movie about the Polish mob? Come on.
Pinot
All right.
nominated.
Adam, what else did you have on your list?
Meryl Streep for It's Complicated.
There we go. That's that actually should be there. That's a great performance.
Alison Lohman for Drag Me to Hell. Isabel Furman for Orphan.
Yes.
Tracy Higgins for Medicine for Melancholy, the Barry Jenkins movie.
Nice.
Taraji B. Henson for I Can Do Bad All By Myself, the Tyler Perry movie. And Zoe Saldana for Avatar, even though she might be in supporting. Who knows?
That was not one that you guys even brought up as like a potential category fraud. I just thought it was not a great performance. Good job, guys.
Todd, what did you have?
Kim Ok-veen for Thirst. I think it's the Chan-wook Park movie.
That's the vampire movie, right?
Yeah. Then I have Meryl Streep for Julie and Julia.
That's not bad. That's the
I'm shocked that's not on there. That's kind of ridiculous, but it's complicated. Like whatever.
I've never seen Julie and Julia.
Cannibalized it. What? Okay, whatever. Abigail Breslin for My Sister's Keeper is on there. Jennifer Lawrence for The Poker House. Maria Heiskanen for Everlasting Moments. I don't entirely remember the movie, but I remember really liking her in that. And Michelle Monaghan for Trucker, which is like just a classic, like mid to late 2000s indie movie.
Yeah, I was trying to get to Trucker this week. That was like the one movie I couldn't get to. Ebert liked it too.
And half of Ponyo.
All right, Zach, what did you have?
I'm looking at my list. You're right, Todd. I don't know what I was smoking when I made this list. It's a weird list. First of all, I didn't even put Abigail Breslin on. You're absolutely right. That's the movie I've been talking about. I didn't even nominate her.
I know. She's the best part of that movie. I thought she was way better in this than she is in Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know why I nominated Lorna Silence Lady, but whatever. I had... well, I'm just going to say my number one who didn't get nominated, but it's in a movie that no one else saw, and it's Tilda Swinton in Julia. And I think it's Tilda Swinton's all-time best performance, and I know you guys haven't seen it. It's a hard movie to find. It made my top 10 as well. It's an amazing, amazing performance, so everybody should check it out. I had Paulina Gaetan from Sin Nombre, which I know Todd's a fan of. Golshifteh Farahani for About Ellie. Good rewatch this week, by the way. Very much enjoyed that movie. Sasha Grey for The Girlfriend Experience, Isabel Furman for Orphan, great call, Adam. Meryl Streep for It's Complicated, and Penelope Cruz for Broken Embraces.
Yeah, I forgot about that movie.
So I had a problem with this list, or with Best Actress, in that I could only find like 15 performances that I've seen that qualify.
And you didn't even category fraud the one that Adam had in there.
Apparently, yeah, I could have just done that. That would have helped. The other ones I had, I just had to fill out the list. So I had Julia Roberts for Duplicity.
There we go.
Sandra Bullock for The Blind Side did make my list. Meryl Streep for It's Complicated. Zooey Deschanel for 500 Days of Summer. Saoirse Ronan for The Lovely Bones. And Katie Featherston for Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, I was thinking about her. I can't decide if it's a good performance or not. It's just it's something, but I don't know if it's good or bad.
And this is why it's not overrated. Okay.
She screams a lot.
Don't worry, Terry. We'll have to meet up. You can borrow my Girlfriend Experience movie. So.
Thank you. I was wondering if you had a copy of it, and I was meaning to text you for the last 5 days since I knew that Girlfriend Experience was getting nominated. I can't give it away. I have to wait.
Don't worry. Shout out to Half Price Books, because this DVD, I was looking for this. It doesn't stream anywhere, and it was like $50 on Amazon for that's a little high.
The series is very good too.
I went to Half Price Books, and they had a copy in Iowa for $11, and they shipped it to my house.
So Iowa, not the bad state, not the LVP we were thinking.
No, was it Iowa or Ohio? It's one of those.
One of those flyover states. Yeah. But I do think this is the first category. I have no idea who the winner is. It's strange.
This is like I feel like
category.
this was the category where the Pinots started. Like this is a Pinot category here where we've got 3 performances that no one else has really even heard of or seen. Like Bright Star, Lorna's Silence, and the Girlfriend
Bright Star
Experience.
low key is an overrated movie for me. I saw it in a theater. I fell asleep. I
I
love
don't
Jane
really-
Campion
I saw
normally.
it in the
like
theater
that.
too.
I didn't really like the movie either.
It wasn't really my thing.
But you didn't have any other performances, Terry?
I didn't have any other performances, so I had to put Abby Cornish on my list.
Yeah, so she's not gonna win.
Yeah. All right. Anyways,
Right on.
there we go. So once again, our best actress
I'm glad I
lineup:
watched that
Abby
movie,
Cornish,
though.
Bright
That's
Star;
good.
Arda Dobroshi, Lorna Silence; Sasha Grey, The Girlfriend Experience; Carey Mulligan, An Education; Maya Rudolph, Away We Go; and Gabourey Sidibe for Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire. There, I said it all. Okay. We're down to just a few categories left. Our next debated category: the Sean Bean In Memoriam Best Movie Death of 2009. Obviously, spoiler alert coming up here. We don't give this award anymore to our current movies, because we did it once and we're like, oh, that just gives away so much about the current movies that you may not have seen yet. But it's been 15 years. We can talk about Best Movie Death. And so the first one to talk about Best Movie Death is me. I got the first one. So movie death. Oh gosh, I've got too many good ones here. I didn't want to go first. I'm gonna go with it. It needs to be a Pinot nominated film. Dumbledore in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Spoiler! How can
Spoiler
you spoil that, Terry? You are
I
pissing
know.
off our fans everywhere.
The book's been out longer.
The book's been out longer, yeah. Dumbledore in
Pearl remembers when this was released.
yeah. So Dumbledore, played by the late Michael Gambon, in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I did not read the books first, and so when I saw this movie, like it's the big reveal of, what side is Snape on? Is he good or is he bad? And then he goes and he kills Dumbledore, and it's one of those, like, it was a jaw-dropping moment for me. So it definitely deserves being on this list. So Dumbledore, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Best Movie Death of 2009.
So does this nomination go to the actor?
Michael Gambon.
I mean, it goes to
does.
the movie, but
It also goes
yeah,
to
the actor. I always put the actor down, not the character. Okay, next up is Zach.
I didn't really have any good ones. I'm going to go, because it's strangely been overlooked so far, I'm going to go Guy Pearce for The Hurt Locker. It's a cool way to go out, in the first 10 minutes of the movie. You think that, he's this great sergeant or whatever, puts on the suit, the bot doesn't work, and then just the guy crashes and the rocks come up. And yeah, it's a cool way to die. And like Jeremy Renner's like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna take off my suit. And it's ironic because Guy Pearce is like so overly protective and cautious. So I'm going Guy Pearce. I think he's a first-time Pinot nominee.
He is.
That was honestly the other one I was thinking of saying. So I'm glad you said it.
R.I.P.
next
Guy
up.
Pearce.
Adam.
All right. Well, one of the deaths that I was thinking of, like, that had to be on this list, he'd already been nominated for minor character. So I'm like,
Do it. Bill Murray.
What?
Bill Murray.
Yeah. But I want to nominate a movie that hasn't been nominated, that deserves to be nominated, and that is
just do it. Whatever you're gonna do, just do it.
Okay. Well, I will. Okay. I'll do it. Christine Brown, Alison Lohman's character in Drag Me to Hell. That's why I'm going to be nominated here.
Spoiler
So
alert.
That was my number one pick too. Good job.
So the finale of the film sets up where Justin Long and her are going to go off away, and then all
Justin
of a
Long
sudden,
as a professor, by the way.
as a professor, yes. Out of Matt Damon, what movie are you in? But at the same time, is that finale, the twist ending of the film, she gets drugged to hell, and that's her death. So I watched the YouTube clip of this several times this week, and yeah, I was like, yeah, this is one that needs to be on this list. So Alison Lohman, Drag Me to Hell, needs to be nominated.
Yes, it's an awesome sequence. Like the beginning of the movie and the end of the movie both have somebody just viciously getting dragged to hell, and it is fantastic. So
help me underneath a subway train too, which is awesome. No, not or like a train, which is awesome too.
Yeah, that was going to be my pick. So
well, Todd, what is your pick?
My official submission is Sergeant Werner Rochtman from Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah,
that is the one that gets the bat to the head by the bear Jew, and because it's an awesome sequence. You get the bear Jew coming out with his bat, and then he's doing Boston talk, like you went yacht on that one, Teddy ball game. It is the best scene. I mean, and yeah, the character punchable douchebag, whatever, but his death scene is the most memorable in that whole movie.
Not as many great death scenes in that movie as you might think. Certainly for a Tarantino movie, but that you're probably right. You could go with Shoshana's or the guy, the farmer guy at the beginning of the movie, but it's not quite as graphic as. Doesn't he die? Don't they all die?
Didn't die. They never died.
Well, they never show him that. They shoot down.
It's ambiguous, I think.
Yeah, he's probably dead. I mean, honestly, there's no way they go out of there without killing the guy.
La Petite.
Yeah.
Off-screen death.
All right, Todd, you'll have to look up what the actor's name is for me on that and send it to me. Okay, so we've got Dumbledore, we've got Guy Pearce in Hurt Locker, we got Alison Lohman, Drag Me to Hell, we've got the Bear Jews kill in Inglourious Bastards.
I'm shocked that there's one that hasn't been mentioned. I did not say it because I thought you guys were going to say. Apparently not Adam, because it is an overrated movie. But the wife's death in Up. I thought that was going to be everyone's number one pick.
That's one that I was thinking about.
L,
because it's overrated.
Or
because that's the best sequence of the movie.
It is the best sequence of the movie. But
I thought you were gonna say like everything you were saying was like yes, and then you didn't say Mika from Paranormal Activity. So that's what I thought you were gonna say. So
I sent the name on.
I saw. I had two other Inglourious Bastards death. I had Michael Fassbender's and Melanie Laurent's deaths in Inglourious Bastards. Before that, I also had the goat in The Men Who Stare at Goats. Gotta throw that out there.
Is just one goat?
And Sam Rockwell in Moon. I think.
Oh,
you
got to mention that. So
it's not bad.
Moon I have is overrated, but I didn't want to pick on it. It's like Adventureland. I don't think it's that great.
I have Bill Murray in Zombieland. I think that was a great pick for Bill Murray. The comedian in Watchmen, L. George Kirk, played by Chris Hemsworth in Star Trek. That's a really awesome way to die in the middle of the beginning of the movie. William Easton, Peter Oderbridge's character in Saw 6. And Annie Brackett, Danielle Harris' character in Halloween 2. That's where you really see Brad Dourif really shine in that film. So that's the most brutal kill in that film. So there we go.
All right, the other ones I had Gina and Nick in The Burning Plane. Spoiler alert, just watch the movie. It's a great movie. I had Bill Murray in Zombieland and 406 in Zombieland, which is the Amber Heard character at the beginning. Kate in My Sister's Keeper. That's sad. Kyle in World's Greatest Dad, also sad. Rorschach in Watchmen, of course. Chad in The Collector, which is a guy who falls into the bear traps. That's a great death. And Letty with an asterisk in Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Good call. Touche. Good go. I like it. Good shout out.
She's resurrected. I don't think we can nominate a single Fast and Furious movie for best movie death because they can always be resurrected.
That's true.
Okay.
I like the Halloween.
Bill Murray in Zombieland got mentioned a lot. The Halloween 2.
Yeah.
One.
Thanks.
I mean, if we want to nominate it for something.
Well, we already nominated it for underrated. We did.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But Zombieland, Bill Murray, make him a double nom.
I don't
I mean,
remember.
World's Greatest Dad. I mean, we all love that
Yeah,
movie, right?
World's Greatest Dad's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
Is that the kid again?
That's the kid again. Yeah, he's a double nom.
So Renee, we're calling him for movie death and douchebag. I love it. So what was his name? Daryl Sabara.
But his death was, it was very, David Carradine inspired. It's a good one.
Absolutely.
I liked it.
I think that could even be our winner, quite honestly.
It could be. I like Guy Pearce. I'd sign off on that for winner too.
What was Guy Pearson?
Hurt Locker.
Hurt Locker.
Oh, right. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
that's
Guy Pearce.
Except Adam and I had the same number 1, so.
Yeah, that's true. Drag me to hell. But the Hurt Locker is not bad.
Yeah,
It's just it depends on your interpretation of the category. I think in a movie called Drag Me to Hell, the kill has to be pretty solid. So I don't mind going with that one. But Guy Pearce's death was like, that's, going into that movie, you would assume that he would live more than 10 minutes. So there's some shock value involved.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah,
Hurt Locker.
Do it.
Hurt Locker.
Is that Hurt Locker's first win, Adam?
That's Hurt Locker's first win. Second nomination.
Okay.
Underperforming.
Oh, no, third because he got screenplay too. 2 performances. Because Anthony Mackie as well.
Okay. Well, let's get to Best Actor for our next category. Best Actor. Jeff Bridges' Crazy Heart was the winner. Let's see here. Let's do this ahead of time this time. So the nominees for Best Actor at the Oscars were Jeff Bridges' Crazy Heart was the winner, George Clooney, Up in the Air, Colin Firth, A Single Man, Morgan Freeman, Invictus, and Jeremy Renner for The Hurt Locker. That was the list. So let's see how many of those popped in to the Pinot list. So the nominees for the 2009 Pinots for Best Actor are Nicolas Cage for Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
First Best Actor nom.
Ben Foster for The Messenger.
Love it.
Tom Hardy for Bronson.
Yes.
Is Bronson still on? I think he
Jeremy Renner for The Hurt Locker. Yeah, Bronson should still be on. He should be commenting on that.
Wow.
Sam Rockwell for Moon. And Robin Williams for World's Greatest Dad. There you go. There's our
Patton Oswalt.
No Jeff Bridges. We didn't like the Oscar
Jeff
winners
Bridges
for the lead.
We got one.
That's a solid, almost sideways list right there.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice list. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I mean, I always thought that Oscar race was a little weird anyway. So this would have been a lot more interesting if we had Cage and Robin Williams part of that.
Yeah, well, because you had it was obviously going to go to Jeff Bridges the whole time, right? It was a career achievement Oscar. As soon as you heard Morgan Freeman was playing Nelson Mandela, he was getting nominated. And then you had the Best Picture winner, Best Actor, get nominated. George Clooney had a pretty good movie, so he was going to get nominated. And then Colin Firth gets his first nomination right before he wins. So, like, it was a kind of predictable list, but yeah, we blew that up here. Pretty great. I like this list. I think it's a fun list. So
I mean, this was early Tom Hardy too. This is before he was anything. So, retrospect, yes, he was getting nominated at the Oscars probably. The other things I had on my list, I had Solomon Sai Savani in Goodbye Solo. I'm actually sad he didn't make the list. He should have. I had Colin Firth in A Single Man, and I had Michael Stuhlbarg in A Serious Man. Thomas Turgoose in Summerstown, which Zach I didn't watch, obviously, and Paul Giamatti in Cold Souls.
All right, Adam, what else did you have?
Michael Stuhlbarg in A Serious Man, Adam Sandler for Funny People, Patton Oswalt for Big Fan, and George Clooney for Up in the Air.
All right, and I had, let's see here. I had Brad Pitt in Glorious Bastards. I had Morgan Freeman for Invictus. I had Matt Damon for The Informant. I had George Clooney for Up in the Air. I had Elhanis Perez Soto for Sugar.
Oh, good call.
And I had Adam Sandler for Funny People. Zach.
Yeah, I'm really sad that Elhanis Perez Soto didn't get nominated. He was my number 2 for Sugar. Edgar Flores for Sin Nombre. Suleiman Sai Savane for Goodbye Solo. I agree with you, Todd. I don't know why he wasn't nominated. Sacha Baron Cohen for Bruno, of course. Joaquin Phoenix for Two Lovers. Adam Sandler for Funny People. And Michael Stuhlbarg for A Serious Man.
This
That's
was
three
like
a Serious Man mentions. That's surprising you didn't get in.
I don't know why Sam Rockwell's in there. I don't think that movie's that impressive.
this was one of the most competitive categories we had. This one was a bit of a bloodbath to try and figure out who was actually going to get in. Okay, moving on. Oh, one last time. Best Actor. The nominees are Nicolas Cage for Bad Lieutenant Protocol New Orleans, Ben Foster for The Messenger, Tom Hardy for Bronson, Jeremy Renner for The Hurt Locker, Sam Rockwell for Moon, and Robin Williams for World's Greatest Dad.
It's sad that Suleiman and Elhanis didn't get in. Those were two clearly the best performances of their careers. And it's like Sam Rockwell, meh. Even Robin Williams, meh. Like, yeah, they've all done better work. Like, and you could make the case that for some of these actors, they're not even necessarily the best part of the movie. I don't know. I don't like this category. Lame. Move on.
We're moving on. Best Scene of 2009. This is always an interesting list, a tough category to come up with. Best Scene. Let's see what happens here. The first one to go on this one is Adam.
Oh my God, damn it.
The randomizer is being fairly equitable, I think.
No, it's not. Adam's been first a bunch of times, I feel like. I was first once.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think
category.
Zach's been first.
The first category, I was first.
Jeez.
I can go, though. I have a scene that I really like.
It's fine. It's fine. Obviously, I think there's a non-negotiable here.
Yeah, do we just want to say the non-negotiable? We were all thinking the same thing, right?
Opening up Glorious Bastards.
Yeah, the opening of Glorious Bastards. That's the non-negotiable, right?
Okay, yeah. Opening up
potentially the winner, but let's fill out the category. Okay, Adam.
Okay, then that makes things a little easier. Well, there's a great montage scene with a very memorable quote. Yeah, we're gonna go with. Damn, this is tough. We're gonna go with the airplane scene and Knowing. I don't think anybody thought we were going there, but we're going there.
Underrated.
Yeah, because Knowing that sequence comes out really out of nowhere, because at the same time you're like, is this really like what's going on? And Nicolas Cage goes up. There's like a standstill in the traffic, and all of a sudden you see this big airplane liner like crash behind him, and he's running in, yelling at people on fire and trying to save people, and it's just a great turning point of that movie, and it's a beautiful work of like special effects as well that I'm surprised didn't get like the big nomination for special effects that year. But Knowing that big airplane sequence and Knowing is fantastic, so that's what I'll go with.
All right.
To throw a curveball into it.
Todd, you're next.
My choice is the split screen scene in 500 Days of Summer, which is like the expectations versus the reality thing, where he's going into that party and he's like, oh, this is what's going to happen. You see what's going on in his head versus what's actually happening, and that is like the most relatable thing in that movie, and one of the most relatable things I've seen in any movie. It's just a fantastic scene, and one of the reasons why that's one of the best movies of 2009.
I think that's its first nomination, isn't it?
It is its first nom, yeah.
All right.
I don't remember that scene.
Well, Zach, you're next.
I'm going to go with the scene towards the end. You could go with the last 3 scenes of The Hurt Locker, but the one I'm going to choose is when Jeremy Renner and Anthony Mackie are talking in their Humvee, and he's like, I am the way I am. Tell me why I am the way I am. And Anthony Mackie just doesn't have an answer for him, and that music is playing, and that's the scene of the year. Phenomenal acting, and that encapsulates the movie so well, the psychology of the character that you can't explain, and it's just, I love the simple, like, 2 angles from behind them. It's just beautifully done. So that's the best scene.
Yeah, that's the Oscar scene. That's the scene that makes me shocked that Anthony Mackie didn't get nominated at the Oscars. Like, and he didn't get any major nominations, really. It's like that scene is the scene.
Good call.
All right, so I'm last. I think that it has to be nominated here, so I gotta go with the aging montage in Up. I mean, I have to, right?
Yeah.
Like, we talk about how that's like the scene that makes it like it's a 4-star scene, and then the rest of it all goes downhill from there. Like, even those that say it was overrated said that. So it has to be nominated here. So Up, like, I know we were saying opening scene from Inglourious Bastards is our non-negotiable, but I mean this is as close to being that as Inglourious Bastards is, I think. So I'll throw it out there. I had the fun ones that I wanted to mention, but I couldn't because you guys took them all.
I think it's debatable whether that's a scene or not. It feels more like a sequence or a montage, but it's obviously iconic.
It's a montage, so it's a scene. I'm going with it. All right. We already have our non-negotiable. A couple others I wanted to throw out there just for fun. I had a scene from The Hurt Locker, but it's the defusing the bomb when he says he wants to get comfortable. I had that. J.K. Simmons getting fired and Up in the Air is an amazing scene.
Yeah, that's
yeah, I had that on my list too.
The ending of Paranormal Activity, like jaw dropped, skin crawling. It's great. And then the lesser known one that I wanted to throw out there is in a documentary called It Might Get Loud, and it's watching Jack White build a guitar out of a 2x4, a Coke bottle, and a nail. Like, it is one of the coolest scenes you'll ever see, and like, if I had gone first, that might have been what I had picked. So just throwing it out there. What else did you guys have?
Some of the ones I had. The goodbye scene in Where the Wild Things Are, and the Dirt Clod fight in Where the Wild Things Are. The Bill Murray movie reenactment scenes in Zombieland. The ending of Sugar. Bob getting fired and Up in the Air. The Got a Wire scene in The Hurt Locker. And Be Italian in 9. Just because I remember that being like the highlight of the movie was Fergie giving the best performance in the movie in her one sequence of Be Italian. So
I thought about nominating Fergie for Best Minor Character for that one. Almost made my supporting actress list too.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, I got the final battle in Avatar. The photo montage / in credits of Hangover of what's all those photos. The car bomb scene in The Hurt Locker, the strudel scene in Inglourious Bastards, the twist about Esther and Orphan, the kidnapping scene in Taken, and the death of the comedian in Watchmen.
All right,
yeah,
Zach, what else did you have?
You mentioned a few that I had. I also had a scene from Watchmen. It was the opening credits. The times they are changing.
Times are changing. Yeah,
that's my favorite scene.
That was a late cut for me.
The movie. And then I had one more that wasn't mentioned. I like the scene when Steve Martin and Meryl Streep get high, and it's complicated. Obviously, set forth in motion every octogenarian movie character getting high at some point for comedic purposes. And I think if I were to also mention another scene from Inglourious Bastards that I like, it is the strudel scene with Melanie Laurent.
Strudel, yeah.
Waltz. Yep. That gets underrated. That's a very good scene.
Yeah, his music changes when he pops up behind her. Oh, so good.
All right.
Dog agrees.
Opening scene from Inglourious Bastards, is that our winner?
We haven't got the non-negotiable yet.
We said that at the top. And I think
That's right.
It's got to be
You're
the
right.
winner,
It's
right?
either Up or Inglourious Bastards. Yeah, one of those two.
I think it's got to be Bastards. Like the fact that we said that. Oh, Cassie's back. Taken.
Different account this time.
Yeah, different account. What's going on now?
Get all this
Taken
views.
is only as
The
awesome as
burner
it can
account.
be if watched in a bus of college kids overseas for the first time ever. Oh yeah, she's told me that story. She was in Europe and they decided on the drive between cities in Europe they were going to watch Taken on the bus because that's what you do with a bus full of college kids on their first trip in Europe.
And listen to Matt Damon play heavy metal.
Of course, this guy doesn't know.
Euro trip.
Opening scene in Glorious Bastards. Winner,
Yeah.
chicken dinner.
Yes.
All right. Moving on. Our next category. Best director. Thank you, Adam, for putting The Men Who Stare at Goats in one of these.
Well, the best director slide always has to have a camera in it. That's how I set these things up. It always has to have a camera.
R.I.P. Goat.
Is that Nicolas Cage? No, sorry. George Clooney.
Okay, so just to throw it out there, the director lineup at the Oscars that year, Catherine Bigelow won for The Hurt Locker. You had James Cameron for Avatar. Jason Reitman for Up in the Air. Quentin Tarantino for Inglourious Bastards. And Lee Daniels, not for The Butler, but for Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
That would have made the title even longer. Lee Daniels, Precious.
Lee Daniels, Precious. It would have. Okay, so here we go. The nominees for Best Director are Catherine Bigelow for The Hurt Locker, Neil Blomkamp for District 9, James Cameron for Avatar, Spike Jonze for Where the Wild Things Are.
We didn't get Bobcat in there. What the hell is wrong with you people?
Oren Moverman for The Messenger.
See that the Todd and Adam alliance in this keynote ceremony is very strong.
And Quentin Tarantino for Inglourious Bastards. There they are. There's our 6.
The fact that Bobcat Goldthwait did not get a nomination in this ceremony is tragic. But this is a good group. It's definitely better than the Oscar group. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna say, Adam?
No, it's good. It's a good list. Great list.
It's good. It's not bad.
Bobcat was a last minute cut. Sorry.
You jerk.
I got Spike Jonze in there. Okay, calm down. I got at least one of your guys.
I mean, he would have taken out one of your other picks. He would have taken out probably the Messenger guy.
Okay, so I'll go first on what was on my list. I had Jason Reitman for Up in the Air. I had Lee Daniels for Precious. I had Michael Haneke for The White Ribbon. Robert Zemeckis for A Christmas Carol.
Oh wow.
Oren Peli for Paranormal Activity.
Wow.
And
you like that movie that much?
Yeah. And then the last one I had on my list was Alistair Fothergill and Mark Linfield for Earth.
Oh wow,
which was like the theatrical documentary that was basically like the highlights of Planet Earth, but totally worth it because they were amazing. All right, Adam.
Yeah, I got Zack Snyder for Watchmen. Nominated that guy.
Nominated that guy.
Jason Reitman for Up in the Air. Werner Herzog for Bad Lieutenant. Protocol, New Orleans. And Louis, yeah, I'm not going to pretend to know this guy's last name.
Ciros.
Yeah, that's who it is, for The Cove. Documentary.
Good. I didn't see Oren Moverman putting on a wetsuit and getting in the water. Pulling a George C. Scott in the Dolphin movie.
Well, Zach, what'd you have?
I had Cary Fukunaga for Sin Nombre, Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck for Sugar, Oren Peli for Paranormal Activity. I'm not sure how he didn't get nominated if Terry nominated him. Oscar Farhadi for About Ellie, Michael Haneke for The White Ribbon, Lee Daniel for Precious, Steven Soderbergh for The Girlfriend Experience. Sorry. And the real winner should have probably been for this movie that you guys haven't seen called City of Life and Death, which is all about the Nanking massacre, the rape of Nanking. The director is Liu Xuan, and it is an unbelievably, extraordinarily directed movie. So encourage you to check it out. It's on Canopy.
Todd?
Bobcat Goldthwait for World's Greatest Dad. I had on my list, obviously. Tom Ford for A Single Man, Duncan Jones for Moon, and Ramin Barani for Goodbye Solo.
That's a good call. He would have been like my 11.
So once again, our nominees: Catherine Bigelow for The Hurt Locker, Neil Blomkamp, District 9, James Cameron, Avatar, Spike Jonze, Where the Wild Things Are, Oren Moverman for The Messenger, and Quentin Tarantino for Inglourious Bastards.
The fact that Where the Wild Things Are got in for direction but not adapted screenplay is baffling.
The directing is the highlight. But yes,
correct. But
in general, yeah, I agree.
All right, I think we have 4 categories left. We just hit the 3-hour mark. Let's get it going. Our next category.
Hurry it up, he says.
Highest war performance. Highest war performance. Will the Avatar guy get nominated? I don't know. We'll have to see.
No, he won't.
He won't. All right, so first one up for this is... It says Adam again, but we're going Zach. Zach, you get to go first this time. I'm just switching.
All right. I'm loosely loosely interpreting this category. I'm going to go the Smashing Pumpkins. The beginning is the end is the beginning from Watchmen. I cannot hear that song without thinking of Watchmen, it's particularly the trailer, and it really extends to every Smashing Pumpkins song I hear. I think of the song from Watchmen. So the Smashing Pumpkins from Watchmen. Sing a happy tune. That song. Dun, 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 and sinners. That one. You know what I'm talking about, Adam. You like that song.
I do.
Todd, you're next.
Okay. I'm gonna say
like this is dumb.
Well, see, I just feel like there's non-negotiables that are like as obvious as Lily Gladstone in Vegas, but I'm gonna say Audrey Tautou in Coco Before Chanel.
Ooh,
it's because she looks a lot like her, and she like is the obvious perfect casting for that role. So there you go.
What's her name?
All right.
Audrey Tautou.
Amelie.
The Amelie girl.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have it right here.
There you go.
See?
All right, Adam, you're next.
Oh wow, this is awesome. Screw it. Jackie Earl Haley for Watchmen. We're doing it. Yeah, Rorschach is
For Highest War. I'm thinking Nick Cage could have played that.
No. That's Jackie Earl Haley all day. It revitalized his career.
You don't even see his face. Really,
that didn't revitalize his career. Little children revitalize his career.
He got a nomination.
Fine.
No, you said it. You said it.
I'm saying it. It's great.
Official. He's on the list.
His voice is pretty iconic. It's hard to match his voice. That's a good one.
Yes, exactly. He got Shutter Island because of Watchmen. Yeah, come on. He got semi-pro. Well, no, he was in semi-pro before Watchmen, but still.
Semi-pro Pinot nominated.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right.
What's going to happen? Hero or supporting actor? That's what's going to happen. What's going to happen?
Okay. Well, I'll take a low-hanging fruit, and I'm gonna. I mean, I said as soon as you heard that Morgan Freeman was playing Nelson Mandela. Yeah. As soon as you heard Morgan Freeman was playing Nelson Mandela, he was gonna get nominated because
that's the winner.
Yeah, it's Morgan Freeman for Invictus. It has to be here. Like, it has to be here. So,
Zach, you've seen it, right?
No, I haven't. But I don't know. I don't know how
Idris Elba.
I don't know how anyone.
Idris Elba sucks. I mean, he's not just.
I'm joking. It's
weird.
A different movie.
It's weird. It's a different movie.
I fell asleep after about 40 minutes. I don't know how. What about Christoph Waltz? I mean, I think
he's
that's
the other
also,
one.
that's
Those are the
that's
two
the
non-negotiables.
Yeah, that's the non-negotiable. So he's the non-negotiable. Let's do it. Let's done.
So which of those two are the winner?
Christoph Waltz.
I think it's got to be Christoph Waltz.
I vote Morgan Freeman, but
that's why I
mean,
threw away my pick. My pick was fucking stupid, like the Smashing. It's all Christoph Waltz. Who cares? Let's move on.
Morgan Freeman is right there though too. I mean, it's like when we said Lily Gladys second. They're like, oh yeah, obviously she's the winner.
Meryl Streep as Julia.
Yeah,
Julia.
but Hans Landa is a complete fictionalization. I mean, Morgan Freeman.
And he speaks like 5 languages. Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Right. It's impossible. No one could have played, and the pathos and the arrogance and the humor of it. Like, there's no one who could have played it.
It's one of the, and wasn't it like Quentin Tarantino was about ready to shelve the movie because he didn't think he could find anyone that could play Hans Landa.
It was originally Leo, right? That was his best shot.
And then he found Christoph Waltz, and it's like, oh, well, now I can actually make the movie. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the two. Morgan Freeman, Christoph Waltz.
Let's make it Christoph Waltz. Why not?
Yeah,
this is not the worst lineup. We had 2 Nicolas Cage last year. Come on, guys.
We had 2 separate Nicolas
Morgan
Cage.
Freeman, that's not even his most well-known role. Like, every role that Christoph Waltz has done after Inglourious Basterds have been some variation of Hans Landa. He's now typecast. You know,
Okay.
like,
well, who do we have for the other ones? Who?
But he was born to play him. That's the thing.
Right. That's why.
All right. Other
Morgan
ones.
was going to play Hood. So.
That's yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. All right. Other ones I have down. I have
Physical
George Clooney up in
resemblance
the air. I thought that was a very high war performance.
Anyone could have
kind of cheating. Hugh Jackman in X-Men Origins Wolverine, but you know, Adam Sandler in Funny People I think is an extremely high war. Jeff Bridges in Crazy Heart was a pretty high war. Jim Carrey in A Christmas Carol, like he plays like 5 characters in that animated movie. And it's the Zemeckis motion capture stuff. That was a very high war performance. Like every character in that movie is either played by Jim Carrey or Gary Oldman. Like you want 2 better chameleons. So that's what I had. What else did you guys have?
All right, I had Patton Oswalt for Big Fan.
Yeah.
Copley for District 9 because your best performance is also your first performance. I think that's pretty awesome. Ray Park for G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra.
There we go.
Snake Eyes. Meryl Streep is also for Julia and Julia. Sam Rockwell for Moon. Jamal Woodward for Notorious because he plays Biggie Smalls. They brought him back for All Eyes on Me, the Tupac biopic as well, to play Biggie. Keith David for The Princess and the Frog. He plays the villain in that film. Betty White for The Proposal for that time period. She's a fantastic.
June Squibb.
June Squibb, yeah. But also Clint Howard for Night at the Museum 2, Battle of the Smithsonian, because he plays a NASA engineer, control analyst.
Wow, that is a good one. That's a nice pull.
Cy Lieber got. That's.
All right, the other ones I had Patton Oswalt down, and I had Zooey Deschanel in 500 Days of Summer, just because there is no more singular actress than Zooey Deschanel, and that is the reason why that character is so likable.
Zach, did you have anything else?
Yeah, I mean, the guy from Sugar. I mean, he's amazing. Like, no one else could play that.
You should have said it. That's better than Smashing Pumpkins.
I don't know. I like the Smashing Pumpkins song. When I hear that, I think I also was at a test screening of Watchmen. I gave like feedback about what I thought about the movie, so maybe they listened to me. I don't know, but
that's why it sucks.
Yes, exactly. Burn.
The 3-hour version with the animated sequences is great too.
I like the HBO Watchmen much more. Jennifer Coolidge in Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call New Orleans. We haven't had a whole lot of shout out to Polytechnique, the Denis Villeneuve movie. I can't think of a great like war necessarily in it. I just want to mention that's a cool movie. It's probably my favorite Denis Villeneuve movie. And then you guys haven't seen it, but I'll also shout out Tilda Swinton again for Julia. I mean, other than Cate Blanchett, no one could play that role. So she's awesome in it. But yes, I mean the war. The meaning of the war is Christoph Waltz. In fact, I believe it stands for Waltz Above Replacement. That's the name of the award. So nominating anyone else is just absurd.
All right. Well, there we go. Christoph Waltz, highest war winner. Moving on. We've got 2 more categories of nominees, 1 more category to debate. Our next category, gee, I wonder who made the slides. Best ensemble cast. Watchmen again. Anyways, okay. This is a category. The first time we did this, we debated it, but then we decided this is a category that needs to be announced, or it needs to be submitted ahead of time. It's the one category we submit ahead of time and announce nominees for that is not an Oscar category. So this is gonna be interesting. We'll see what happens.
So what were the SAG nominees?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't have that on me right now.
I would guess Inglourious, or no, I would guess An Education.
They were Inglourious Bastards was the winner, An Education, The Hurt Locker, 9, and Precious, based on the novel Push by Sapphire.
Animated 9? No.
Yes, the animated 9 was nominated for ensemble. Yes, so you're correct.
All right, so here are
Isn't John C. Reilly in it?
Yeah, it's on my list.
Here's our nominees for Best Ensemble for 2009. The nominees are Extract, Funny People,
I even like Extract. This is ridiculous, though.
The Hurt Locker, Inglourious Bastards, The Messenger, and Up in the Air. There you go. There's our 6.
I like it. That's pretty good.
Well, but there's no Watchmen on it, Adam. What happened?
There's no Watchmen.
Don't worry, it was nominated.
By you?
Yeah, by me only. Okay, well, I didn't say for myself.
There's one takeaway from the 2009 Pinos is Adam's love of Watchmen. I was not prepared for that.
And Extract kind of taken over at times too. It's
Extract was a trendy pick. It's a great movie.
We
With a
should
great
beat that,
ensemble,
right?
apparently.
Inside information. Zach texted me like a week ago and said, "You should watch Extract before next weekend. It'd be a great plane movie. I think it's a spoiler at the Pinos." And here we go.
Yeah, exactly.
It's its second competitive nomination.
And Terry doesn't even understand. Like, he doesn't understand Brad Chavez. Great character. He doesn't understand Ben Affleck as the bartender at the hotel. I mean, there's just so much to enjoy.
I would have watched it, but here's the thing. It's on Pluto. It's on Pluto TV, and I would have watched it, but I can't download. I can't download off of Pluto TV.
Well, you don't think Pluto TV would have an app? I mean, that's a little too sophisticated.
Well, yeah. Well, it does have an app. I didn't have.
I'm surprised they bust out like douchebag being like Kirsten Wiig's sweatpants or something.
Yeah, that's a good one. I should have been
okay.
On top of that.
So, my other nominees for ensemble. Let's see here. I had "I Love You, Man" on the list. I thought Precious. This is one spot where I thought Precious actually fit. The Men Who Stare at Goats obviously needed to be on here, as well as It's Complicated, and The Hangover. The Hangover needed to be on Best Ensemble. So, Todd, what did you have?
I had An Education, Summer Hours. Again, I don't know what. Zach, you've seen that, right?
Oh yeah, it was on my top 25.
But you didn't have it on the other list.
No, I nominated someone from it. I think I nominated Juliette Binoche.
No, then she would have been on because she was my number 1. So
yeah,
unless Terry screwed up. I also had The Vicious Kind, The Burning Plain, Crazy Heart, and A Serious Man.
Yeah, Adam, what you have? Summer's Hours is my number 19.
Watchmen.
What a shocker!
Adventureland, An Education, and Bad Lieutenant. Protocol. New Orleans.
Zach.
I had Away We Go. Inglourious. No, we already have that on there. My Sister's Keeper. It's Complicated. Now, I do think It's Complicated is a pretty awesome movie. It's not like a great movie, but it's very watchable, highly watchable, mostly because of the cast. Julia, yeah. And then a movie that I'm going to assign to Todd someday when I'm feeling punchy. My Son, What Have You Done by the great Werner Herzog, starring Michael Shannon. It's a great movie.
It's not available to watch anywhere.
I know. It's impossible to watch, but Todd needs to see it. He can't see it sober though, and it's a great Herzog experience.
Hell yeah.
All right. Well, one last time, our best ensemble nominees: Extract, Funny People, The Hurt Locker, Inglourious Bastards, The Messenger, and Up in the Air.
2 comedies.
Our last debated category. We always end every podcast with quote of the day. So this is our quote of the year, our quote of 2009. That's what we're looking at now. Let's see.
Is that Adam? Is your quote from Watchmen?
It's not. No.
Oh, darn.
All right. The randomizer says I'm first. So let's see here. Oh man, which one do I want to go with? There's. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that. So my pick for quote of the year is a quote we know quite well.
Catch you on a Menjay.
Catch you on the Menjay. That's my quote of the year. Catch you on the Menjay from I Love You Man.
I did not realize that was from I Love You Man.
It is from I Love You Man.
Okay,
it was a
new every day.
It was a toss up between Catch You on the Menjay and I Will See You Then or I Will See You on Another Time. But I'm going with Catch You on the Menjay.
Slap at the bass.
So, that was on my list too, was Slap at the Bass.
I had Slap at the Bass on my list too.
Or This Is My Nightmare. It's one of the I think most quotable movie of the year is I Love You Man. So all right, so that's my pick. Next one up is Adam.
All right, well, Slap in the Bass was up there for me too, but we already have a I Love You Man, so we're gonna go Zombieland. It's time to nut up or shut up. That's what we're going with. Time to nut up or shut up.
What about Dr. Manhattan's line when he's looking at his wife and is like, I've lost all faith in humanity as she gets older? Like, that's a good line. Or the Rorschach line. What was Rorschach? He essentially has the same line. I've lost. Isn't every line in that movie? I've lost faith in humanity.
Probably.
Okay.
All right. Next up is not wanting to work. Zach,
wow.
You're next up.
Okay. My quote of the day comes from a great movie that I have over here. Sorry, I had to take it off. I watched it because it's on Todd's top 10 list. Anvil, the Story of Anvil. So I did like this movie. I can't believe that Todd didn't bring it up once during our Spinal Tap deep dive.
I did.
This is a movie. You did? Okay, well, I clearly
so I wasn't going to go in depth because it's called Rob Reiner.
There's a character named Rob Reiner. He's a drummer, but he doesn't die. There is an amp that goes to 11. There's a scene where they tour the Stonehenge, and their band gets resuscitated because they get inexplicably popular in Japan, and they end the movie on a tour there. It is like eerily similar to This Is Spinal Tap. I don't know why.
But it's real.
I guess, yeah. Although I feel like, part of my issue is that some of the scenes in the movie feel, I'm not going to say staged, but they know they're on camera. That, I think, ruins it a little, especially Lips. But it's a good movie. It's a little long at 78 minutes, which says something, but it's still kind of fun. So my line comes from their song called Toe Jam. And the quote is, dig a little deeper, hip your partner, make her shout back to front, side to side, tip your cap and come inside, down her fishnets, up with her skirt, dig a little deeper till you hit pay dirt. By the great Anvil. I think we know why they didn't become big, but it's still entertaining.
You're gonna have to send me that quote. I didn't catch it.
Shout out to Lips.
It's not like the Sparks Brothers, but loves.
It is a very entertaining movie. It's a fun one. Good call, Todd.
Yeah, text me that quote so I have it.
Okay. Oh, I will definitely.
Last we've got Todd.
All right, my quote comes from Couples Retreat, and it's a quote that I quote that I didn't realize was from Couples Retreat. It's Vince Vaughn. He basically is like, is his junk literally out of his pants right now? And then he says, "Now it's a party."
Now it's a party. Yeah.
Now it's a party.
Now it's a party. Now it's a party from Couples Retreat.
Wow.
It's a good one.
I like it. First,
We don't
first
have a
nomination
non-negotiable,
for
do
Couples
we?
Retreat. Well,
Kinda like
my
Rose.
I thought non-negotiable would be "That's a Bingo" from Inglourious Basterds.
Glorious Bastards. Yeah.
Or shoot
This
him,
is my
his soul is still
masterpiece.
dancing.
What's that from?
That's from Bad Lieutenant.
Oh, I forgot about that.
His soul's still dancing.
All right, so I've got the other "I Love You Man" quotes. I have "That's a Bingo." I have from "Up in the Air." Anybody who ever built an empire or changed the world sat where you are now. It's because they sat there that were able to do it.
Yeah, that was my number 2.
But see, are we kind of coming to a consensus that movie is only good because of that scene? Anything we're talking about, J.K. Simmons, the scene. The rest of the movie kind of sucks.
Well, that line comes up in. I don't even know if that line comes up in that scene.
Isn't that from
pops up a lot.
the J.K. Simmons scene?
It's from
I
Seven.
think it's a different scene.
And then two other quotes, both from Up. Squirrel. And Kevin's a girl. Those are.
Oh yeah.
that line, like from that movie, especially made me laugh so hard. So.
We've got the long legs version of Adam right now with half his face.
It's Adam, directed by the director of Janet Planet.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Opening some mail, throwing some stuff in the microwave.
I got and from 2012 when they tell you to
We're doing 2009 movies, not 2012.
No, it's a movie 2012.
The movie 2012. When they tell you not to panic, that's when you run. Slap into bass from "I Love You Man." The Informant. Paranoid is what they call you when they want you to drop your guard. And Zombieland, I also had, I've never been good at farewells, so that will do, pig. And then,
That's a good one.
and then the movie Fanboys. No one calls Han Solo a bitch. There we go.
That's a good line.
That's just good rule of thumb.
What else?
I have Ray Romano and Marshall Mathers. Ray Romano, the guy from Everyone Loves Raymond. I don't give a fuck about what show he's on. I'll fuck this motherfucker up, man. I like that one. I'll cut that one out.
We're live, dude.
I thought everyone loved you, says Seth Rogen. That's funny. That's funny shit.
Right.
Maybe that's the quote. I thought everybody loved you.
All right, I have one from 500 is a Summer. It's one of his card readings. It's "Roses are red, violets are blue. Fuck you, whore." It's just great.
That was a PG-13. Wow.
And I obviously Bad Lieutenant, shoot him again, his soul still dancing. Then I have Inglourious Basterds. You probably heard of the prisoner taking business. Well, we're in the Nazi killing business, and business is a booming. I mean, we didn't nominate Brad Pitt this year. I think it's the first time we haven't nominated Brad Pitt. He's got like 6 nominations in 3 years. I also have one from.
This is the first time we haven't nominated
Sam Rockwell, though.
Yeah, we got Sam Rockwell in there, and we had The Informant. Polar bears cover their noses before they pounce on a seal. How do polar bears know their noses are black? Did they know, or did they look in the water one day, see the reflection, and say, "Man, I'd be invisible if it wasn't for that thing"? That seems like a lot of thinking for a bear. I mean, it's just, any of the monologue from Informant is just brilliant, and that is one of the great ones. And then, of course, you don't want to know what happened in Kirky from The Good Live Hard, Sell Hard, and rule number 32: enjoy the little things.
Oh man,
we lost Adam.
Those are all good ones. They're all good ones.
Adam is like Elias Koteas in Janet Planet. Just disappeared. He won't get that joke, but
no, I think I got some mail coming. Hold on.
Oh, he's got more DVDs to unmask.
He's got more DVDs to show us. All right. What are we going with here? It sounded like the Up in the Air quote was a popular one.
Yeah, or something from Bastards, I guess.
Or something from Bastards. Like that's a bingo.
That's a bingo was everywhere for like a couple of years. That's a good call.
Buongiorno. That's by Brad Pitt. That would give Brad Pitt his nomination.
Dominic de Coco.
Arrivederci.
Dominic de Coco. Again, Dominic de Coco. One more time. Dominic de Coco. Oh. Bravo. Yeah, that's good too.
Go the bingo.
I'm good with that. The bingo. Our quotes have been pretty short, except for Zach quoting the song.
That's a bingo from Inglourious Bastards.
Catchiana Menge.
What's our quote? What's
Bingo.
our winner? You say
Catchiana
Menge. That's our consensus. But what's our winner?
Oh, Catchiana Menge then.
Catchiana Menge.
It's mentioned in every podcast, so I think it has to be.
It is. I think we got to go with it. I love you, man.
I love you, man. Gets its first win.
Is Pearl still with us? Bronson, what do you guys think? Cassie's burner account?
Cassie's burner.
All right. Well, that was our last debated category, so we only got one thing left to do.
Worst
and
picture.
that is
drink till morning.
Best picture.
Oh.
Yes, I will drink until next week.
I forgot. We have
I
best
that here
picture.
somewhere. Where is it? It's down here.
Thank you. I will drink until next morning.
Okay.
That should be our quote for next.
Here we go. Yes, The Hurt Locker is what? One Best Picture. What are we going to nominate for Best Picture?
What
Here
was
we go.
What was the Oscar nominees for Best Picture?
The Oscar nominees. That's a good question, Adam. The Oscar nominees were
Different
The
one
Hurt
of those.
Locker 1. Then you had A Serious Man, An Education, Avatar, District 9, Inglourious Bastards, Precious, The Blind Side, Up and Up in the Air. Those
When
were
I
the
look
Oscar
at that picture, I think of extreme flatulence. Like someone needed to go to the bathroom.
The fats from
Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
Okay. The nominees for Best Picture at the 2009
Jeff
Kinos
Daniels,
are Avatar,
Bobby,
District 9,
Baba,
The Hurt Locker, Inglourious Bastards.
Are we doing
The
10
Messenger.
too? Like in
Yeah, we're
09?
doing 10.
Wow.
That's what we do. That's what we do, dude. You just whatever. The Messenger. Paranormal Activity.
What?
Yeah, thank you,
Oh
Adam.
my god!
Voices
Oh my god!
That is an atrocious nomination.
Sugar.
Yeah, okay, that's not bad.
Up.
Sugar up, man.
Oh, the overrated one. Up in the Air. And Where the Wild Things Are.
Yeah,
There's
you guys
our
want to give me shit for Paranormal Activity. Look at how many Todd Adam picks are there. You guys have like 5 movies there that your alliance brought on this list. I get like 1.
What do you mean?
It's not going to win.
Paranormal Activity. I mean, yeah, sure, but we all love a lot of these movies. I mean, it's not that crazy. Like Sugar. I mean, we all love Sugar.
I did not. I definitely did.
Yeah,
5 of
Fortune
those
Sugar
movies
on
are
me.
overrated.
Is that Sugar's first nomination? No,
Could
Iowa.
be.
That's right. Iowa.
Yeah,
Iowa, yeah.
Goddamn Iowa. Screw Iowa.
All right. So let's see here. Todd, what else did you have on your list of 25? Because we did our top 25 for this.
Okay. Shit. I'll just go in order. Anvil, the story of Anvil.
Yes. Rock.
It-
Rock out, man. Whoops.
Big fan. Summer's Town. A Single Man. Cold Souls. Funny People. World's Greatest Dad. Adventureland. 500 Days of Summer. Not Quite Hollywood, The Wild Untold Story of Exploitation. Sleep Dealer, Medicine for Melancholy, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Bad Lieutenant Protocol in New Orleans, Sonic Skate, Moon, and Acolytes.
All right, Zach.
So
What else
pretty
did
much
you have?
everything that was like 15 through 25.
Yeah. What do you have, Zach?
Si Nombre, 9500 Liberty, a documentary that 78 people have voted on IMDb, but it's my number 6. Julia, not the Jane Fonda movie. City of Life and Death, About Ellie, which should be higher. That's the one that I rewatched this week after I sent in my ballot. About Ellie is like a top 3 movie that year. It's a another freaking masterpiece from Farhadi. The White Ribbon, The Cove, Precious, Last Train Home, Capitalism, A Love Story, Two Lovers, The Girlfriend Experience, Goodbye Solo, Away We Go, Summer Hours, Extract. Now, how did Extract not get a nomination? I'm calling bullshit on that. We all loved it. Boy Interrupted, Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, Polytechnique, My Sister's Keeper, and Police, Adjective, which I know Todd likes. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I think you have Last Train Home in the wrong year.
I mean,
yeah, this definitely
this year was a nutty year.
It's definitely like a 2011, 2010 movie. Yeah, but that would have been on my list, obviously, if it was a 2009.
All right, I have It's Complicated, Earth, Invictus, The Men Who Stare at Goats, obviously, 500 Days of Summer, The Informant, Precious, Moon, Away We Go, An Education, Zombieland, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, A Christmas Carol, Star Trek, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Big Fan.
How
Adam?
did Big Fan not make it?
I have
Big Fan's a Big Fan.
I have Watchmen at number 3.
There we go.
Of course you
There
did.
we go. The Cove, Bad Lieutenant, What It Called New Orleans, The Girlfriend Experience, I Love You Man, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Star Trek, A Single Man, Zombieland, Medicine for Melancholy, Taken, Funny People, Big Fan, Extract, Adventureland, and World's Greatest Dad.
There you go. That's the list. Those are our best picture
Paranormal
nominees.
Activity being on this list is a total 2009 choice. It represents what 2009 is. So can't fault it for being on our best picture lineup, even though I didn't vote for it. It's cool to see it on the list.
So to throw some stats out there that I had, for the competitive Oscars, the ones where we submit ahead of time, 8 nominations for The Messenger. 8 nominations.
Perfect.
6 for Inglourious Bastards and 6 for The Hurt Locker. 5 for Up in the Air. Like, so that those were the most popular for the submitted categories.
8 is a good number. That's not the most though, right?
Oh,
That's
it's
gotta
not the most.
That's got
Not the most overall. I don't think The Messenger got anything outside of that though.
No, Killers of the Flower Moon, and we have The Wrestler with 10, I believe. And then you had 9 was Killers, 10 was. I'll put together the list for your debrief.
Yeah, but they had debated nominations though.
They did
Flower
have debated.
Moon had to have been in there right up there too, or because that's 3. I guess this had 4 acting nominations and ensemble.
So Banshees of Inisherin would have been up there too. I think they had 2 scene nominations as well, so that would give it its 8. So 2 scene nominations for Banshees, and maybe
Banshees had
quote.
picture, director, screenplay, actor, supporting actress, screenplay, ensemble.
So
like
the
that would match it.
The most of 2023, Killers had 8, and then
total though, right? With all the below the
total, yeah.
2022
Banshees had 10.
Yep.
Babylon and Top Gun Maverick had 8, and then total.
The Wrestler
and then
had
2008,
10.
The Wrestler had 10. Dark Knight had 8. But that all those included below
so I think Banshees and the Messenger are tied with 8.
The Banshees and The Wrestler are tied overall with 10. And then I think The Messenger would slip in at number 8. Or no, it would slip in at number 4 for the most all time. But
all their nominees are the major categories.
That's what I was trying to get across, yeah.
Which is the crazy part.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'll have all those later.
Yep. Adam will tabulate some stats, and again, look for the podcast feed later in the week where we will have our debrief on and look into some of the stats of how the voting went and how different things got nominated. Like, how did Paranormal Activity and Sugar get into Best Picture, even though it didn't get nominated for a single other above the line category? Pretty crazy, but it's awesome that it did. I think it's great that both of them are in
At least they got two nominations at least put in there. A couple, or no, well, in Paranormal Activity's case, they got 3 nominations, so that's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. All right. Well, yes, Todd has catch you on the Menjay. Catch you on a Menjay? I thought it was catch you on the Menjay.
Either way.
Either way.
Misquoted.
Yeah, either way. Any last thoughts? Zach, Adam, Todd?
Well, it was a lot better than the actual 2009 movies. I think the Pinots went off really well. I think there were some really good wins here.
It was
Maya
a good
Rudolph,
conversation.
Best Actress
Maya
nominee. Looking forward
Poor
to
Bobcat. Bobcat needed a
8 years of her
somewhere.
on SNL.
We got a lot more nominations for Watchmen. Thanks, guys, for putting in for the overrated stuff. I appreciate it, guys. Just getting that love. Getting that love.
I have Watchmen rated higher than The Messenger. I was just looking at that.
See? There you go. Had a kid.
All right. Well, I think we started this out and I said I thought it was going to be a cool conversation, even though the movies may not have been as good as 2008. And I think I was right. We had a lot of fun with this. We always do. Again, in 2 weeks, we'll be revealing the winners of the competitive categories for the 2009 Pinos. Next week, tune in for a very special deep dive as we'll be going back 30 years to one of the greatest films of all time.
Coffee!
Oh,
Coffee!
need some coffee! Pulp
That's
Fiction.
just some serious gourmet shit, man.
Talking all things Pulp Fiction next week. It's going to be great. All right. Well, with that, we'll catch you then. Have fun watching movies. And we'll catch you on the flip side. And, of course,
Catch you on a Menjay.
catch you on the Menjay. Oh, let's do the video one more time.
Play the ending again.
Whatever happens here tonight may as well never have happened at all, because this circle's about as far as it's ever going to go. In other words, forget everything. Okay, good or bad, we don't remember, so we got nothing to talk about. Through a night we'll never remember, but the 4 of us will never forget.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
Sound good? Yes, sir! That's what I like to hear.
End it now.
I mean,
that's the ending. Wondering if
He
BJ
made-
Novak would have got a second nom there.
He may not have been nominated, but he did get the last word. So, Brad Pitt. How did we not nominate Brad Pitt for anything? I mean, seriously.
I know we nominated him for Babylon and Burn Out the Reading and
And
Benjamin
Curious
Button.
Case of Benjamin Button and
Like,
Bullet
we-
Train.
If we would have nominated him for this, it would have been like I told Zach this. We might need to rename our podcast.
Well, don't worry. Next, like the Tree of Life is coming. Like that's where he's going to get some serious
And
love.
Moneyball.
And Moneyball. It's coming.
12 Years a Slave.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh,
That's Matt
yeah.
Damon performance if I've ever seen one.
That's a good call. That is a good call.
World War Z.
All right. We're actually signing out now. See you later.
There we go. Adios.